buying a new car. We have the no-hassle Toby towing price that we've had for 35 years now. Nobody else can say that. We've been saving Kansas City thousands and thousands of dollars for a lot of years.
I have been buying Ford cars and trucks from Lewisburg Ford for over 30 years, and I know personally this is the best place to buy a Ford car or truck. Great prices, but there's a whole lot more than that.
It doesn't just stop at price, Toby.
No.
There's other factors to this equation, and it's trade-in allowance, financing, and the experience of how knowledgeable the people are that you're dealing with. And we surpass everybody in all those areas. We always have. We always will. That's why calling us is important.
Do you have that new pickup?
Absolutely. It's dynamite.
Okay. Lewisburg Ford is your best place to buy a Ford car or truck. What's your toll-free number?
816-444-2300.
Lewisburg Ford or lewisburgford.com.
My Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take.
But early detection allowed us to take control of the situation together.
Talk to your family about seeing a doctor. Go to alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Hey guys, it's Dusty Likens, and I have a new social media series called Range Bait that is up on all of 96.5 The Fan's social channels. I love golf. I talk about it. You know it. I watch it. I play it. So every week I'm headed out to the range to hit a bucket of balls and talk to you. It could be Royals conversation. It could be about how the chicken crossed the road. Who gives a rip? New videos will be released every Thursday on The Fan's YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter pages. Range Bait with me, Dusty Likens, your home for Kansas City Sports, 96.5 Fan.
96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. Welcome into Fescoe and Dusty.
I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing here?
A show that, analytically, exists between 6 and 10 weekday mornings on Kansas City's only FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Oh, buddy.
Live from the studios that brought you.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Here's Bob Fescoe and Dusty Likens.
Yeah, we got it rolling on a Tuesday, baby. That's what's going on. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan, Fescoe and Dusty. It's Nathan Williams, Logan Weber, and Mac Morey. We are with you until 10 o'clock. We'll be here with you on and off all week. Nathan will visit us a couple of times throughout the week. Logan with me until Thursday. What's going on, boys? Good morning. Let's get this thing going.
Man, I'm excited, dude. I'm excited. I mean,
me too.
First of all, I'm barely conscious right now. I'm barely here.
Yeah, Logan has been in the studio for the last 48 hours.
I basically, I honest to God, I should have just slept here. I should have found a nice, comfortable chair or maybe a soft spot on the floor and decided to park it. But yeah, I was on after hours last night. Got home around 10 o'clock. Showered, ate dinner. Got a strong 4 hours of sleep. I guess you could say. Caffeine is going to be my best friend.
1 hour per show. 1 hour per each hour of the show. That's perfect.
I told my wife last night that today may be a 2 Red Bull day. She didn't seem to like that comment very much, but
wow, 2 Red Bulls and we already got a Mountain
Dew. There's a Mountain Dew here on the desk. The Red Bull's going to have to be what's up next. We'll see what happens after I've consumed the first Red Bull to determine whether or not a second one is warranted.
Well, I mean, I can look in this trash can. I'm sure Bink's got a leftover Mountain Dew from yesterday that you can also cop as well.
Well, yeah, you guys can yuck. First of all, you guys can always blame the Mountain Dew on each other. That must have been Bink. I don't know. It wasn't me.
That's true.
I didn't have 3, honey. It must have been Jay.
There is a 20-ounce Mountain Dew bottle inside that trash can, I'm certain right now, and that is from me last night.
There is, and then there's another one right next to it that you can tell is Binkley because it doesn't have Mountain Dew in it. It's not empty. That's all I say.
Oh, what's it got? Okay.
Yeah, it's got the spit.
It's
got all the spit in it.
Yep.
It's lovely.
Yeah, that checks out.
I'm a Mountain Dew guy. I live right across the street from a store. It's actually insanely convenient. Like when I say right across the street, I mean right across the street. So I walk out my back door fence and it's right there. Walk across the street, boom. So I probably 2 or 3 times a week I'll walk across the street just for a Mountain Dew before dinner. I'm like, you know what? I want a soda with dinner. I'm going to walk across the street, get a Mountain Dew.
I like that.
That's my favorite soda.
I keep a 24-pack in the fridge.
You're stocked.
Yeah, the garage fridge has Mountain Dew in it pretty much all the time.
I'm not a Mountain Dew guy. I hate to break
That's
up
fair.
the
I
love
think
fest
we may
here.
be in the minority. Yeah.
Like middle-aged, like millennial woman out in me. Diet Coke, dude. Diet Coke.
Oh wow, yeah,
100%. It's the best.
That's what my fiance loves as well. Simone's all about that. Yeah, she's all in on that. So that's fair. That's fair. Code Red, I'll sometimes switch it up and not do a normal Mountain Dew. Do you like Code Red Baja Blast?
The Baja Blast is pretty good. The Mountain Dew Baja Blast, yeah, that rocks.
I think everyone can get in on a Baja Blast. That's totally fair. The 816 already asking if Logan is going to get on his knees for Jordan Walker.
Yes.
We will do that throughout the day. He's very, very excited about that.
Fully prepared for the accusations to come flying
Wearing
out.
his Cardinals shirt. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. You can catch us on the stream on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and to see Logan's Cardinals shirt. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, he's a Royals fan. We're all Royals fans here. But yesterday was Jordan Walker's day. I mean, he was fantastic. It was awesome. I didn't really feel bad for Kyle Schwarber because, get bent. But, he was incredible last year. 11 home runs out of 15 swings. And Jordan Walker, I think, had 9 with 1 to go, gets 10, and then you get to keep going till you miss, right? So gets 11, ties it up, boom, wins it with that 12th one. And my brother texted me a good point, too. They should let him keep going until he misses for record's sake.
Just see how many.
Yeah, come on, why not?
Yeah, I agree. Just, for the sake of posterity, so that way, 5, 10, 12 years down the line, if somebody puts up 17 in the final and they're like, oh, he broke Jordan Walker's record, it's like, well, Jordan Walker didn't get the opportunity to get that. And maybe, hindsight being 2020 is one that, maybe he does go out and hits the next one 260 feet to left center field, and he does just finish with the 12 that he had.
But you want to know.
But, yeah, you kind of want, that's sort of what the beauty of, not the timer format, certainly, but the previous, the 10 outs format, was you could more or less see just how many moonshots a guy could put together. You could have those Josh Hamilton sort of performances that you saw in the home run derby of the past. But I'll be the first to say, yesterday was better to me.
It was way better
than the way that the timer operated. I don't disagree with Jeff Passan very often, but I vehemently disagree with him. He was asked yesterday about the new format, and he said, I think it sucks.
Well, and he said that before it happened, right?
Right.
So I'd like to hear him this morning. I'm going to give him the chance I'm going to give him the chance to take that back after he saw it.
I think he quoted his own tweet at the end of the Derby last night. I don't have it pulled
up,
up, but I'm pretty sure he was like,
up.
this guy, because that was a great ending. That's exactly what you want. And,
yeah,
and
he did. He did. He said Passan's a moron.
Okay, yes. It's very on brand for him, right? Just like self-owning.
Absolutely.
It's fantastic.
Absolutely. You got to do that.
Getting rid of the timer, but also not adding hours back onto the program, that's a win in and of itself.
You're right. Yeah, that's the one thing I guess most people were worried about. It's like, okay, how long is this going to take? I did see one funny tweet. It's like, if I was in the home run derby, I just wouldn't swing at all, and I would change everyone's lives in that stadium.
Just 30 minutes. Just
swing.
Just sit there auto-taking like you're in a 3-0 count the whole time.
Yes. Which I thought was hilarious.
There was a stretch there. I can't remember. It might have been Jordan Walker where he did take on 6 consecutive pitches in the first round, and you're like, Jordan, you do know you can swing, man.
Let's go.
The bat doesn't just have to sit on your shoulder for the next 3 hours.
I mean, Cags probably should have taken a couple more pitches. I agree. I think his dad came in ready to shove. Just painting corners on Cags. Are we? At some point, I love the dad pitching thing. It's very heartwarming. It's fantastic. It's what baseball's about. Totally get it. But at some point, we're trying to win the Derby, right? I don't know. Am I wrong? Am I being a D-bag?
I think you might be wrong.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, like for Cags in this situation, like it's his first time. He may not get an opportunity in the Derby again. I believe he will. I mean, he just has unbelievable, effortless power,
and he's so young.
But I mean, cool for him to do it this go around. But if you have another shot, I don't know who's tossing BP consistently for the Royals during games, but it's got to be that guy. Like, I understand. I mean, I get a little bit of the, like, yes, the nostalgia of, being able to take swings off of your dad the way that you did when you grew up. You probably haven't had many more BP sessions with anybody in your life than your father. But unless your father is Greg Maddux, I don't know.
He looked like Greg Maddux last night.
I don't know if you're getting the greatest BP.
Can he pitch 5 innings this weekend?
I don't know how much of that you put on his dad yesterday and how much of it you put on Cags, because you're right. I mean, there was a stretch there where he, like 5 or 6 consecutive swings without a home run where he's just hitting line drives at these poor children just waiting in right field, having to hit the duck and cover. It's like, Cags, hey, just take a beat.
Yep, take a second.
I don't care if you take pitches. I don't care if you step out of the box.
Yes.
Just take a break. It felt to me like he was going way too fast. Like in trying to find a rhythm for himself, he got too sped up and got out of the rhythm that I think was the best for him.
No, I agree. And remember, baseball coverage on 96.5 The Fan is presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi. One price, 5 years, guaranteed. Xfinity. Imagine that. Yeah, overall, though, I thought the Derby was good. I did think Cags was nervous a little coming in. I think that was probably part of those line drives. It felt like he got a couple bombs. What was it, 4 in a row, and one went to the third deck, which was awesome. I think you mentioned it before the show. Like, what was it, 470 something?
They said 477, but
kind of felt like it was farther than that.
It certainly felt like it was farther
490
than that.
was the longest last night. I can't remember who hit it. Do you remember?
I think it was Caminero.
Was it Junior Caminero? Okay, that makes
490.
sense. Yeah.
And I mean, like, Contreras hit one like 487 last night.
I love watching Wilson Contreras swing, man. He was awesome.
He's violent. His swing is. I mean, and I'm not just saying that because he's decided to have 2 separate fights occur in recent memory and got a suspension. That's not why I'm saying that. Like, his swing, it just has so much power behind it. And then, like, it compared to watching some of these other guys compete, Schwarber very similarly, but then you watch like Jack Caglione yesterday, watching Jordan Walker compete. Those guys, they're just such mountains of human beings. They just have this effortless swing and effortless power. It's going to be a hot take, and I know that let the accusations flow via the text line. Jordan Walker has a right-handed Ken Griffey-like swing, in my opinion. The ball just jumps off the bat. His swing is so damn pretty. It's so pretty.
Nathan, you're the bigger baseball guy. What do you think about that?
I think there's a historical, maybe more of a nostalgic feel that you're going to upset using that specific swing. Like, that is the swing that if you watch baseball before the turn of the century, you tell kids today about. You know what I mean? Like, that's the swing. You might have a better pure hitter like a Ted Williams or a better power hitter like a Hank Aaron or a Barry Bonds. People wax poetic about that King Griffey swing all the time. That being said, Jordan Walker, that's a very sweet swing. I'm not trying to just take the anti-Logan stance here. That guy is incredible, and Logan takes a little too much heat. And he did try to tell a text line a couple weeks ago when this this love affair with the Cardinals started, like, hey, watch out for this kid. He's going to be a superstar, and he is. Lest we forget, he's doing it defensively as well. The guy absolutely robbed Salvador Perez when they were in Kansas City a few weeks ago. He's a very good young player.
For a guy that was a third baseman coming up through the minor league system and got converted to right field pretty late in his development.
Okay, so I was just about to compare him to Cags and what we wanted to have happen for Cags last night. There's another layer to that comparison right there.
Yeah, that's crazy that you were already going to do that, and then that's there too. That's awesome. Yeah, Jordan Walker winning $1 million is the prize for winning the home run derby. His salary this year, $799K. The Royals, 20 picks ahead in the 2021 or 2020 draft, I believe, picked Asa Lacy ahead of Jordan Walker, who killed it last night. But of course, this is the way this works. You can't look at every draft pick and be like, oh, they picked this guy. You know, we crap enough on the Royals. We can maybe do some of that later. on in the show. But coming up next, we're going to talk head coach hot seats, baby, plus QB tiers, because there was a list. We talked a little bit about it yesterday from Jordan Schultz about QB tiers. I'm still a little pissed about it. We'll talk about it next on 96.5 The Fan. It's your home for Kansas City sports.
This is Fescoe and Dusty.
Brett Veach has the most underrated chest I've ever seen.
On your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan. Fescoe and Dusty is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hey, this is Lauren. And a little thing I love about the hash brown scrambled burrito is that it's going to add the protein that you need. The eggs with those crispy nuggets. It's the ultimate combo.
Hi, this is Maya, and a little thing I love about the hash brown scrambled burrito is that it's packed with protein. Having Chick-fil-A chicken in a breakfast burrito is just phenomenal to me. You have the chicken, you have the eggs, and then you add these hash browns. It's just complete, honestly.
Order the Chick-fil-A hash brown scrambled burrito and Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
It's a Lawman, 3-time DUI award-winning attorney in Kansas City. You wanted results? Here you go. First-degree murder charge, dismissed. Felony DUI, dismissed. Felony to misdemeanor, multiple. Felony jury trial, not guilty. Call the Lawman, 816-816-9111. Take it away.
The Lawman gets results of the law. Call the Lawman. Let the fight begin.
Voted by Pitch and Casey Magazine. The choice of a lawyer shouldn't be based on advertisement.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? Call Jay Southland Tow Service, 816-779-4869 or southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments. They can do it all. Be in the know and call Jay's Southland Tow.
Summer savings start now at Hy-Vee's 3-day summer sale. Save big this Friday through Sunday on summer favorites with hot deals throughout the store. Stock up and save big on fresh meat, produce, and other healthy finds. Want an easier way to shop? Order on the Hy-Vee app or at Hy-Vee.com. Choose pickup or delivery, and we'll do the shopping for you. Save time, save money. Shop your way during the Hy-Vee 3-day summer sale this weekend only.
The Hy-Vee Market Grill is the best dining value in town. We love it for breakfast on the weekends, and now Thursday is steak day. You're going to get that perfectly grilled and seasoned steak with a baked potato and a side of sweet corn for just $12. You can't beat that deal anywhere in town. That's why the Hy-Vee Market Grill is a must on Thursdays for steak day. Dine in, carry out, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You're going to love the Hy-Vee Market Grill as much as I do. Don't forget, Thursday, $12 steaks, only at the Hy-Vee Market Grill.
This July is America's 250th birthday, so declare your independence from low testosterone at Low T Center. Start with a free T-test, stay on treatment for 90 days, and receive $250 back. It's the Low T Center 250 for 250 offer. FixMyLowT.com and book your free T-test. That's FixMyLowT.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you own a small business, the pressure never lets up. Something's always coming at you. That's why business owners turn to LendSeek for funding.
I don't need promises. I need options. LendSeek's AI platform showed me real funding choices. Now I can cover payroll, handle taxes, and go after growth opportunities without the daily stress.
Up to $5 million with funding in as fast as 24 hours. No upfront costs. No prepayment penalties. Start ready, stay ready. LendSeek.com. LENDSEEK.com.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hey, the summer gets super hot, so now you need to get a Super Light. That's right. The team that brought you Surfside is back with something new. Meet Super Light, the new vodka plus aid canned cocktail. Super Light comes in 4 classic sports drinks flavors: fruit punch, orange, lemon lime, and blue chill. And ooh, that blue chill is money, baby. With just 90 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 bubbles, Super Light delivers a refreshing taste that's perfect for any occasion. From the golf course to the bar, at night, at the concert, a day at the ballpark, Super Light is here for the moment. Look for Super Light variety packs and individual flavors at stores and bars near you. You must be 21 and older. Please drink responsibly.
Royals coverage sponsored by the Show Me Shootout Truck and Tractor Pull on July 18th. The Outlaws are coming. Don't miss the Show Me Shootout Truck and Tractor Pull, Saturday, July 18th at the Johnson County Fairgrounds. Big power, flying dirt, non-stop action. Just $25 at the gate. Search Show Me Shootout Warrensburg, Missouri on Facebook for details.
Hey, this is Trey Smith, and you're listening to your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
On the Missouri side, 35 southbound from Missouri 152 into downtown is a 12-minute trip. I-70 westbound from 470 into downtown, 15 minutes. Kansas side 70 eastbound from 435 to 670 is an 11-minute drive. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Rocking and rolling here on a Tuesday morning here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Chiefs. We were just talking Home Run Derby. We'll talk a little bit about the Royals later on, just a little bit. This year we have partnered with KCUC, who's donating $50 to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for every home run the boys in blue hit this season. 1 in 8 men will face prostate cancer. Early detection saves lives at KCUC, Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced neurology team. You see the best in KC. Scheduled today at kcuc.com. And 95 home runs have been hit by the boys in blue this season. That's almost $5,000. So keep hitting those home run, boys. Let's talk some head coaches. Let's talk NFL here a little bit because, guys, I mean, the offseason's in full swing. We are 15 days away from Chiefs training camp. July 29th is when Chiefs training camp starts until August 20th. I'll be gone for the first week of it or so. Hopefully when I'm back, I'll get to go catch it on a couple Saturdays and see some practices. So the juices are beginning to flow, and which means the takes are beginning to flow. We know the rosters. We've seen the draft. Your fantasy football group chat's probably starting to reignite. If not, it will in the next couple weeks. You're getting the buy-ins all set. You're getting your draft date set. I'm a Labor Day draft guy. That's when I do both my drafts with my leagues. One dynasty, one redraft. We'll start the fantasy football show up next month probably. Everything's getting going. So with that, every year, I mean, last year, how many was it? Was it? I got to look it up.
I think
six head coaches, I believe, were fired last year, either in the middle of the season or just overall. So every year there's at least 3, I want to say.
8.
Okay, I almost said 7 or 8. Okay, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
I don't know if we'll have that many.
That's a quarter of the league.
That's insane. That's insane. I don't know if we'll have that many this year, but either way, you can pretty much just book at least 3 every year turnover. So let's talk head coach hot seats going into the season. Logan, you want to start us off?
Yeah, so, I mean, the first one, and maybe it's low-hanging fruit, but Aaron Glenn, I mean, you had an abysmal first year with the New York Jets. You traded away absolutely everyone. You have no quarterback. You went 3-14, and it doesn't appear, at least on paper, like this team is going to be any better. I mean, your quarterback is going to be Geno Smith, who was run out of Las Vegas It just doesn't feel like you have any serious. I mean, like NFL, CBS Sports says that's a reason for optimism for the New York Jets, having Geno Smith at quarterback. It feels pretty tone deaf in my opinion, but I just I don't like it. I mean, their draft was incredibly intriguing for me. Getting Omar Cooper from Indiana, Kenyon Sadiq.
Cooper, yeah. Yes.
They've surrounded Geno Smith with some weapons. They went and got David Bailey, who I still believe was the best pound for pound edge rusher in this draft class. But Geno Smith is still your quarterback, and your offensive line is not great. Your secondary, your defense is a little bit more retooled, but you don't have a Quinnen Williams or a Sauce Gardner on that side of the football anymore. I just think that this is another situation where Aaron Glenn is put into a tough spot. It's his second year, so that may be enough for him to hold on for one more season to try to bring in a young quarterback, maybe in the top 5 of next year's class. But if there's not marked signs of improvement, at least in a couple of different facets of this team, I don't see any way that Aaron Glenn is able to retain his job with the New York Jets.
I mean, at the very least, you got to get some interceptions this year. You're a defensive head coach. We need turnovers. Last year, I know that's an anomaly, and it's a lot of. It's volatile. It's weird. It's random. Turnovers are, interceptions are, but you can't go 17 games with just 0. It's just unacceptable.
You can't. And then I guess what I'm about to say kind of cuts against both sides of the coin here.
Mm-hmm.
You trade away your all-pro cornerback in the middle of the season. That doesn't help.
No, it doesn't.
However, then you have additional draft capital and you pump some of that into the D line. I think that helps nearly as much as having a star cornerback does. I still believe defense flows that way. The pass rush comes first, the turnovers come second.
Totally.
On all 3 levels. So maybe the pass rush is the answer, but you look at Glenn, he's a defensive-minded head coach. You would have liked for that to be there last year.
Yes.
And they had 0. So I'm with you, Logan. It's an easy one, but it's because it's true. He's absolutely on the hot seat.
Yeah, and it kind of is it unfair that he's on the hot seat? I don't know. They were really bad last year, but also it's the Jets. So how do you improve that team with the organization that you're running? It sucks, but yeah, he is on the hot seat. There's no question. Who else you got?
Take a look. The second name I've got, and this feels like one.
Oh, I've got this one too.
Yeah. We may all end up having.
Oh yeah, Nathan's got this one too.
Zach Taylor of the Cincinnati Bengals. You know, and maybe some of that is unfair considering all that the organization has had to deal with in terms of the injury history. Like your number 2 wide receiver in T. Higgins is not always the most available guy when it comes to, the wide receiver room. Obviously, Joe Burrow has dealt with his fair share of injuries, but this is a team that should be contending, especially this year in this division. The Baltimore Ravens have completely overhauled the coaching staff, getting rid of John Harbaugh. Mm-hmm. So it's a new coaching staff being brought in, new pieces that they're trying to, piecemeal together. And
same with the Steelers.
Yeah, the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers is your quarterback, okay? He's going to walk out there possibly aided by a Kane or Walker at this point. I'm not quite sure. That team is, in my opinion, no real threat to you whatsoever. In my view, the Cincinnati Bengals it's their division to lose this year in the AFC North. If you don't accomplish that, I feel like injuries or not being the reason, it's hard to justify keeping him around. And especially considering they've done some interesting things to try to flip this defense around. As bad as it's been the last couple of years, you brought in Brian Cook to shore up the back of that secondary coming from Kansas City. You traded for Dexter Lawrence. You went and got Jonathan Allen and Boye Mafe. Cassius Howell.
The defense should be
solid. Should be better.
The pass rush at least should be really good.
And if the offense is what you think it is, if Joe Burrow's healthy and he has a complete year with Jamar Chase, who many think, maybe not many, but some around the league believe he is the best wide receiver in football, with T. Higgins, with a solid running back in the backfield, it's put up or shut up, in my opinion, for Zach Taylor right now. With the Ravens maybe being lagging a little bit behind where they've been in the past. The Bills have question marks with a first-year head coach. The Kansas City Chiefs themselves, the kings of the AFC for the last half decade plus, are coming off of their worst year in over a decade.
Half decade.
If you're going to strike, now is the time. No question about it. Zach Taylor it's put up or shut up time for him in Cincy. And then the third and final name I have, Shane Steichen, Indianapolis Colts.
This is an interesting one.
He's going into
a little hot.
He's going into his 4th year. And the reason why I believe that is because Shane Steichen was incredibly outspoken when it came to the Daniel Jones extension. He was a very, very strong advocate for Daniel Jones coming back to Indy on that big-time deal that they gave him. And we have seen how that's turned out in the past for coaches who stick their neck out for Daniel Jones. We saw Brian Daboll, thank you.
Yeah.
He got the axe in New York.
Yeah.
It came a few years after the fact, I guess you could say, but it set the organization back because it didn't work. So this feels like Shane Steichen is in a spot, again, weak division in my view in the AFC South. You know, the Jacksonville Jaguars with first-year head coach went out with Liam Cohen and shocked people, but they've had to kind of strip the cupboard over the last couple of years. And the Texans, CJ Stroud's your quarterback. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're out. Okay.
CJ Stroud's your quarterback. I don't have a lot of faith in the Houston Texans.
All right.
Can Stingley stay healthy for an entire year? Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter are great, but how much longer can Danielle Hunter do what he's doing before Father Time inevitably claims another victim? And yet nobody's thinking about the Tennessee Titans. In fact, for a brief moment, I forgot they were in the division. So this is an opportunity for Shane Steichen to grab the reins and take control of this division like it seemed like they were going to do last year prior to the Achilles injury for Daniel Jones. Now, maybe Steichen can hold on if Daniel Jones is going to miss an extended period of time and it puts him behind the 8 ball to begin with. I just look at year 4 is a huge one for coaches in the National Football League. If they miss the playoffs in a weak division like the AFC South, if Daniel Jones is healthy for the bulk of the year or all of the year, that feels like a situation where he may struggle to get over that hump and retain a 5th year or, that conversation about a contract extension.
Yeah. No, that's fair. There's some good points there. I will say it sucks because they should fire Chris Ballard. That should be the guy in the hot seat in Indianapolis. You talk about the trade going all in for Sauce Gardner. You talk about paying Daniel Jones. Yeah, sure, Shane Steichen could have put his neck out, but Chris Ballard's been there forever, and he's the one making these moves. What have they done? What have they done? Andrew Luck, do not cry me a river anymore. That is gone. That has been, how long has that been? 9 years now?
At least 7 or 8.
Well, no, it was my 21st. So it was 7 years ago. Yes, it was 7 years ago. So
right
now,
after that playoff game.
Yep, exactly. So 7 years ago now that's been. So yeah, I think Chris Ballard should be on the hot seat. I think Shane Steichen's done wonders with what he's been given. But I get what you're saying. It is the 4th year. You're on an AFC South, which I believe is a growing division. I don't think it's dissipating. I'm still in on CJ Stroud. I think the Jaguars, I've never left. I was really big on Liam Cohen, them going there. I'm actually, and I'm a Cam Ward guy. So I actually think the AFC South is rising. I don't think that's going to be the poo-poo division that we've seen it before, which would be in maybe another topic. Is there that poo-poo division in the AFC this year? Probably the AFC East, but you still have the Bills and the Patriots.
Yeah. Logan, the only thing I'd add is you said no one's talking about the Titans. Tajay Spears came out and said they're going to have a winning record. You see that? He said they've got a new logo and a lot of new things.
Yeah.
So we're also going to have a winning record.
Let's go.
So if that doesn't instill confidence in the Tennessee Titans,
I'm all in.
I don't know what is.
No, they should be striving for 6 or 7 wins, not trying to do the 6-7 thing. But they really that's a good goal for them. That's a good stepping stone for the Tennessee Titans. Just show progress there. So yeah, Shane Steichen. Yeah, Zach Taylor. I think we're all in on the Zach Taylor thing. For me, he could be first head coach fired because we know the way their seasons start. We know the way the first month goes. It's 2-2. It's 1-3. And if that happens this year with the roster that you mentioned and Joe Burrow already kind of putting out hints that, hey, I may not be the happiest here and my timeline may not be forever in Cincinnati if we can't get this done and win.
And with all the hype that's been, they've been talking themselves up this entire offseason. Joe Burrow said, this is the best I felt about a team since my last year at LSU in 2019.
So they're going to be in the Super Bowl this year.
He is very vocal about it, and that's probably not helping Zach Taylor's situation with all these expectations that are now being put upon it. Maybe Joe Burrow is doing it purposefully. Maybe Joe Burrow is doing those things twofold to try to increase the confidence of his team while also putting more pressure on a head coach that he may not want to play for much longer.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That could be the case. That could be the case. Nathan, any head coach hot seats?
Taylor was the number 1 on my list. He has been for a couple of seasons now, honestly. He's a guy that I felt they won in spite of when they went to the Super Bowl a few years ago, more so than because of. And it seems like for the last 3 or 4 years since then, I've had him on my hot seat. He's survived in advance. We'll see if this is the year, but I feel like if they are not in the playoffs, winning the division or in competition to do so, look out. Joe Brady is the second name on my list.
Oh, okay.
New head coach. Guys, we talk about this with Joe Burrow. No one's talking about it yet with Josh Allen. Does he want out? Are there hurt feelings? Is there resentment? We're like one season behind Joe Burrow on that for Josh Allen. The playoff failures that Bills fans still don't put on him, that he doesn't put on himself. And you're going to look at this move as a continuation of the same if it is not a division winner, a 13-win season, and a trip to the Super Bowl. Bills fans, the narrative will be, you fired McDermott, but you just promoted another guy internally. Nothing changed. Look at the Royals with Dayton and JJ. How often do we see those texts? So if the Bills are not a Super Bowl frontrunner with playoff success this year, his seat's going to be hot.
I like that. And you got Terry Pagula over there, and you have no idea what he's going to do. You have no idea what he's going to do. Yeah, that's great. That makes sense.
My third one was Brian Schottenheimer, and this is more in the ilk of we talked. You guys, Mac, you led the segment saying, "Hey, a couple of guys just get fired every year, no matter what." You coach in Dallas. It's the second year for Schottenheimer now. It's just like every couple of years, this machine kind of turns. There's someone else new in there to be a puppet for Jerry Jones. Wouldn't surprise me at all if Schottenheimer is not there this time next season.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. It sucks because he killed it last season. I feel like I spent...
He did.
I feel like everyone else spent like the whole offseason, Brian Schottenheimer, Jerry Jones, Cowboys, and it was like, oh, wow. This team's really competent. They've got fundamentals. They're disciplined. Like, that's the signs of a good head coach. They don't get a lot of penalties. A lot of the things that steered them the wrong way were corrected. That's a head coach coming in and fixing things. But talk about expectations, man. The Cowboys have expectations this year. It feels like when I look at NFC playoff pictures, when I look at Super Bowl predictions, I'm seeing that star way more, and it's not a facetious, make fun of or sarcastic. Like, they have a great roster. They had a solid draft, which they do every year. They're underrated drafters because Jerry Jones may be the GM, but he pays their head scout, which I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now, who has been the number one GM candidate every year for the last decade. Jerry Jones pays him more than anyone else to keep him there because that's what he does. So, yeah, Brian Schottenheimer is a good one because if the expectations are high, Jerry Jones knows that, and he's going to expect 12 or 13 wins. He's going to expect at least NFC Championship because the days are dwindling for our boy JJ.
Yeah, this is a referendum on Jerry Jones, not on Brian Schottenheimer.
Absolutely.
I think he's a very fine head coach.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, I'm with you. Absolutely. But that's not always the parameters. But fine head coach, sorry, the organization, owner, whatever it may be. For me, I don't think these guys are fine head coaches. The two that I've got listed that aren't Zach Taylor. Zach Taylor, I would also list in that category as well. Dan Quinn and Todd Bowles will not have jobs after this season. I will just let you guys know that. They will both be fired. Todd Bowles already should have. Dan Quinn, the writing's on the wall. 2 years ago, rookie season, gimmicky offense, all those things were great. And now your OC's gone, and now it's up to you. You're a defensive-minded head coach. We saw what happened last year with Jaden Daniels. The injury and the inability to really push the ball down the field. If you look at that first season, they had 6 wins where they were losing in the end of the fourth quarter, and they were able to come back and win it. They were also, I can't remember the exact number off the top of my head, what they were on fourth down in 2024 was obscene. It's not repeatable, and we saw that in 2025. They weren't that good on fourth down. So I just think Dan Quinn, the time's run its course. He's a bridge head coach. He gets an organization, a new quarterback, and a new roster to a place where they're competent, they're solid, they'll have a fallback year. This year they may come back a little bit, but again, they don't have forever. They want to get Jaden Daniels to a place, and they want to get this roster to a place where they are winning consistently, and they're competing in that NFC East. So, I think Dan Quinn's gone, and then Todd Bowles, he already should have been fired. This is
yeah.
I don't understand why he still has a job.
I'm with you. After the post-game tirade that he went on, publicly blaming his players for losing a game in which his coaching allowed 40-plus points to be given up. The collapse of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year, to watch Baker Mayfield go from an MVP candidate in the first half of the year to a borderline afterthought in the second half, while you, as a defensive-minded head coach, threw a wet paper bag out there on defense for the entire year. Yeah, I don't understand how Todd... there's no way that man still has control of his locker room, let alone a job. You let one of the most iconic franchise cornerstones in the history of the organization go in Mike Evans, the writing feels like it's been on the wall for a while, and the organization has ignored it. But it's going to be put directly in front of their faces this year, and I don't think they're going to be able to turn away.
Yeah, and he gets to go to his end-of-year meetings and be like, oh, division winner, look at me, I made the playoffs. 9-8, 9-7, 10-7, whatever it is, that you can't keep writing that. Talk about poo-poo divisions. The NFC South has been the king of that these last few seasons. And guess what? You lost your division last year, and 2 years ago, you won your division because it was insane. It was Week 18 versus the Panthers, and they won that game by like 3 points. It was the stupidest win that's ever been won in my life. I've got one of my best friends is a massive Bucs fan, so I've given him crap about that forever. Like, you won your division now 3 years in a row before last season based on a crappy win against an even crappier Panthers team at the time. So yeah, Todd Bowles is just kind of making his way off of a bad division. I'm excited to see him get the boot, get the can. Because, Baker Mayfield, it looks like that is going to be their guy. I don't know if they're going to extend him again. But, they've got to make something happen with that team over there. And Todd Bowles just is not a guy who gets a team over the hump. He's similar to Dan Quinn. He's a bridge.
I'm not sure if this Bucs team belongs over the hump, though. And I'm not going to pound the table for Todd Bowles. The guy's a lame duck if there's ever been one. But I just feel like other organizations at this point in time would move on from Todd Bowles, put someone else in there. They would spend 2 years going 7-10 or 8-9, and then when the new quarterback comes along after Baker, then you hire the young hotshot. So it's almost like sure they could move on from Todd Bowles. What is the upshot here? Whereas with Dan Quinn, I'm with you. Like after this season, I can just distinctly envision the Commanders going to get their young offensive guru to help coach Jaden Daniels, right? So I just Todd Bowles shouldn't have that job. I just feel a whole lot of just around the Buccaneers. It just is. It doesn't do anything for me.
That's fair.
And they're an they feel like a team that they controlled the division for quite a while because there were. The rest of the division was a bunch of lame ducks.
Who else is there?
While I believe that the Falcons will continue to be lame ducks, it felt all year last year like the Panthers were ahead of schedule.
Yep.
It felt like Bryce Young was finally putting some things together. That Panthers defense had so much young talent, and they were finally making their presence known. And hey, folks, I said that I'm poo-pooing on C.J. Stroud. I'm not saying that I'm completely out on him, but God, he was bad last year. Nobody seems to be talking much about Elliott Shuck right now. And
Tyler Shuck?
Tyler Shuck, excuse me, yeah. And I feel like he's got a shot to be pretty solid for this Saints team. I'm telling you, I think Tyler Shuck has a chance to be we saw it when he came in late in the year. This Saints team had a different feel to it.
100%.
And Chris Olave and some of the other weapons that this Saints team
Jordan
has.
Tyson, let's go.
Yeah, Jordan Tyson out of Arizona State. I am incredibly intrigued by what this Saints team can put together in a poor division. I think that may end up being their biggest competition. If they can split with the Panthers and say they even split with the Buccaneers or even sweep them, they're going to sweep the Falcons because the Falcons are awful. But the Saints could be right there too, playing in a situation where they're in a third place schedule, contending in that league.
And they might just still have Cam Jordan. Is that what's going to happen, I guess? That's just...
Yeah, he's there, right?
Yeah, he's back.
He's back.
Signed him to a 1-year extension.
Seems like that's just going to be the way that goes. So you still have Cam Jordan, and I really don't know who else is on that defense. I'll have to look that up. But either way, you've got 3 middling teams and then the crappy Falcons. So that is your head coach hot seats. We've got a couple texts here about their head coach hot seats. Burrow getting hurt every season kind of stalls that. That's fair, but at some point you can't keep using that excuse. And then we got a question about last night in the home run derby contest. Mac, do you know who won the Jack longest home run contest? Because I guessed 476. LOL. His longest home run, I believe, was 477.
Yeah, we had somebody on the show last night in the text line.
They got on the money.
They guessed 477.
Sorry, 816. So I think that person will probably get the dub. We'll obviously be reaching out and announcing that as the day goes on. Who's having a tough Tuesday in sports? We'll get to it. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty, brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Hey guys,
Dusty Likens, and how many times have you failed? It's okay to admit it multiple times. I fail daily. But don't fail in the bedroom because performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED get in the way. The truth is, most men don't have to live with it anymore, and you may be surprised by how the right treatment can improve your love life. Heartland Men's Health uses advanced medical science to empower male performance with therapies that go far beyond the pills. They have treatments with success rates well over 90%. Some treatments can even have you last an hour or more. Heartland Men's Health is successfully treating men in the Kansas City area, so call them today and find out why their advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Schedule a consult with a Heartland Men's Health today. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes a medical consult with a licensed medical provider, a T and PSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. They have an expert staff, and if you are like a lot of men, you could be having sex the day after your appointment. They have 3 locations to serve you: Overland Park, Kansas; Independence, Missouri, between Blue Springs and Lee Summit; and in North Kansas City. So call them today. Tell them Dusty Likens told you to at 844-447-6600 or visit them at heartlandmenshealth.com. The world's best soccer teams know success comes from having the right lineup on the field. AAA believes your insurance should work the same way. By bundling 2 or more policies, such as auto and home insurance, you can simplify your coverage and potentially earn a multi-policy discount. It's a smart way to save time, reduce costs, and keep everything under one trusted team. Visit AAA.com to build your winning lineup and see how much you could save with AAA insurance. That's AAA.com.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you hear the news lately, the population of ticks is at an all-time high. We're looking at mosquito bites going out there, getting everybody. But if you call my friends over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control, you won't have to worry about that this summer because you have the mosquito dome over your yard like we do. And we think it is so important to make sure that all of those bugs are taken care of this spring, this summertime when we're sitting outside. Nobody wants the mosquito bites, and you also want to keep your dog free of all those ticks and fleas. The mosquito dome from Aspen Lawn and Pest Control can do just that. And then you can sit outside and enjoy your beautiful yard that Aspen created especially for you, just like they did for us. They took our awful yard and turned it into the best looking lawn on the block. We absolutely love a relationship with Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. And they have college educated professionals that know how to grow the best lawns in Kansas City. Right now, they're going to give you a free estimate and up to half off your first application when you mention this ad. So visit them now at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where 24-pack Crayola crayons are just 50 cents?
Staples has folders, notebooks, and pens at great prices.
I'm smiling from ear to ear. It's the most wonderful time.
Mom, I missed the bus of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples, where school supplies start at just 25 cents. Staples.
That was easy.
Visit your local Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The world's game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2-up early payout so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pre-game straight match results bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you'll instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the world's game. Don't miss your shot at an early win with 2-up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years years of age or older. This promotional offer not available in Ontario, Pennsylvania, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. Available in the U.S. For New York, 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. New and existing customer offer, subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel, must be present in a state where it's legal to wager.
By now, you've heard that Booth Creek Wagyu steaks and beef are the best tasting, most flavorful cuts you've ever had. And if you don't believe us, try it for free. Try Booth Creek Wagyu anytime at 95th and Knoll or 135th and Metcalf. Stop by our store and we'll prepare a free mouth-watering sample of your selected choice cut. Heart-healthy, low-cholesterol, authentic American, full-blooded Wagyu steaks and beef. We know you'll love it as much as we do. Crafted for exceptional beginnings. Join the Booth Creek Wagyu revolution at boothcreekwagyu.com.
Even on weekends and holidays, Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric shows up. Expect reliable HVAC plumbing or electric service. Plus, enjoy $500 off a new HVAC system this summer. Schedule your free consultation at anthonyphce.com.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Brought to you by Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. North KC 169 Highway southbound gets heavy around 9 Highway, then stays sluggish to the airport exit. Past that, things move well into downtown. Home issues rarely happen at a convenient time. When HVAC, plumbing, or electrical issues happen, you need a team that shows up. Even on weekends and holidays, Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric shows up. With flexible financing, comfort is always within reach. Plus, enjoy $500 off a new HVAC system this summer. Scheduled today at anthonyphce.com. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Hello, and good morning to you. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan, Fescoe and Dusty. Nathan Williams, Logan Weber, and myself, Mac Morey, with you today until 10 a.m. Fescoe, Dusty, both out on vacation all week. So that's right. You get me, you get Logan, you get Nathan, you get JT, you get a couple of people. And it's going to be fun. We're going to have a great time. We're already doing it. And World Cup today, it's happening. We are on the semifinals. We will have, is it Spain and France today at 2? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Spain and France today at 2, and then we'll have Argentina and England tomorrow at 2 o'clock with the final Saturday at 7. And, of course, our tournament scoreboard updates are brought to you by Surfside, made with real vodka and zero bubbles. It's not a seltzer. It's Surfside. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly. It's a tough Tuesday, baby. Let's get to it. Alrighty, I'll start us off here. MLB attendance up overall, right? Overall, we are up 1.1% across Major League Baseball this year over year, in attendance at stadiums. Solid. The Royals? No. They have taken baseball's biggest attendance hit so far. This is from Sports Business Journal. Down 16.8%. 16.8% year over year. There were almost 19,000 people. To 18,000, almost 19,000 people. So obviously they've got a plan for this new ballpark, but the attendance way down. And again, I've talked about this before. Baseball is predicated upon two things. It's either going to be a competent baseball team or it's going to be proximity of where your ballpark is. Convenience, right? Those are the two things that'll get people in a talented, fun team to watch. Don't have that. Nope. Or a baseball park that's close to where the people are. They struck out on both those this year. Obviously, that new downtown ballpark is going to bring a lot more people to it, and I will continue to say that because when I'm downtown with my wife walking on a Saturday afternoon and I see, hey, the Royals are on in 2 hours. Do you want to just stay here, grab a beer, and go to the game? That will happen. Lots of people will do that and bring people to the ballpark. This year, you're just predicated upon your performance. They obviously haven't been able to do that. We had expectations. It's been a big letdown. Very few years do the Royals actually have real, legitimate expectations that aren't built all on hope. There were some real things, some tangible evidence that we could grab onto to say, hey, this Royals team should be okay. Should be a playoff team. Should be above 500. Those things didn't happen. The attendance has taken a hit because of it.
And it should have.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt about it.
Justified.
I completely agree with you. Either competent baseball, proximity. I would throw a third one out there, like nostalgia would be. Yeah. I mean, like again, I'm just speaking off of the experience I know firsthand, covering the Cardinals for so long in Springfield. When they brought Albert Pujols back for that last hurrah or whatever, and you had him, and you had Wainwright, and you had Yachty, attendance went back through the roof. Like, they weren't overly competitive as a baseball team, but their attendance skyrocketed because, oh my God, Albert Pujols is back. Like, this is awesome. It feels like 2006 again. It didn't. Albert was hitting like 240. Yachty was on his back legs. Wainwright dealt with like 3 different IL stints that year. But that you sort of got that nostalgia feel a little bit, you know? None of that is happening right now for the Kansas City Royals.
No.
And they deserve to have this happen. It's the fans' way of sharing with the front office, with the ownership group, that they are not satisfied with what is happening right now.
Yep.
This team is 21 games below 500. Yeah, I know injuries have played a part, but this team was
I will not stand for that.
Sleepwalking
No.
to start the year before the injury bug hit.
Yes.
They need to have their voices heard, and their best way to do that is by not showing up to the box office or not showing up via the MLB Ballpark app or whatever to get their tickets bought.
And Mac, in your notes here, you list a couple of the other teams who have had the biggest decrease in attendance this year. I'd be kind of worried if I was a Nationals executive. They played spicy baseball, and they're down almost 7%.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, at least you could point to the Royals or, the Astros have lost attendance. Well, they've fallen off from their dynasty, right? You would expect a step back here. So the conversation here locally is like, of course, you're not playing good baseball. People aren't going to come watch it. The Nationals, I wouldn't expect that out of them. I was surprised to see that number.
Yeah, they're talking about trading C.J. Abrams and James Wood. There have been reports out there that they will consider shopping those guys at the deadline. Like, oh, okay, you're already losing attendance. Now you want to sell off your cash cows?
Your guys. The guys you got for Soto? Like, that wasn't like, I don't know.
And you mentioned it, 6% for the Orioles, Astros, and Nationals, all 6 point whatever percent. Again, the Royals, 16.8%.
Yeah, it's not good.
Crazy.
They're in first place by a wide margin.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could double this and still have first place.
You could. You're right. There was a text that came in that said, should we bring back Moose and Hosmer? And it's in jest. The Royals did that about 5 years ago with, like, Greg Holland.
Yeah.
They did it with Melky Cabrera, like we talked about before the show here. We've already had that phase of Royals baseball.
To me, nostalgia gives you a spike. It gives you 20 games, maybe a few weeks, a month or two. I don't think it gets you 81 games. I really don't. But it gives you a boost for sure, nostalgia can. Nathan, tough Tuesday?
It is the A's pitching coach, Scott Emerson, who was let go Monday by the team. Now, of course he was. The A's have the worst pitching staff in the American League. They've given up the most runs with 528 so far on this season. Why is this relevant? Well, the second worst pitching staff is the Kansas City Royals. Okay, so we give so much attention negatively to this offense compared to the pitching staff. And yes, injuries have been a huge part of this, but also so have things like the decline of Seth Lugo or a guy like Noah Cameron not replicating what he did a season ago. And so, not calling for anyone's job here, but I'm just saying the only pitching staff worse in the league just fired a guy yesterday. So maybe a tough Tuesday for both Oakland, Sacramento, whatever, and Kansas City's pitching department. I don't know.
Interesting. I personally am an advocate of Brian Sweeney. Like, I don't put the onus for this year on Brian Sweeney. I mean, your bullpen is an absolute disaster. Ursig has regressed. Strom is not the guy he was in Philly last year.
Yeah.
Estevez, your closer, the guy who led the AL in saves last year, goes down in his first appearance of the season. You've been piecemealing this thing together, and it hasn't worked.
Yeah, I'll push back in this way, though. I feel the same way about the A's. I feel like there's nothing on that pitching staff. And for the last couple of years, we've talked about that young offense. And we've said, man, if they could just get some arms in there to help them win some ball games. And so we just talked about a team like Tampa Bay in the NFL where, hey, could anyone win here? No, probably not. But still, when things go wrong, heads sometimes roll. That's all I'm saying, because I am an advocate of Brian Sweeney's as well.
Yeah, and the A's had a bottom six staff in baseball the last 3 years. So this is, like, with Sweeney, it feels more like a one-off. With him, Scott Emerson over in the A's, this was a trend. This was something that was happening over multiple seasons.
Logan?
All right, my tough Tuesday is New York Yankees in the home run derby. Outside of Aaron Judge winning that derby back in, 2019?
Yeah.
It's been a rough stretch. Gary Sanchez in that same home run derby didn't make it out of the first round, and the two most recent guys that they've had in the derby Ben Rice yesterday finished dead last in the opening round with 7 home runs. And then last year, of course, the coup de grace, one Jazz Chisholm, somebody that we do not like here in Kansas City, putting up a whopping 3 home runs and a flurry of long fly balls in the home run derby last year. Yankees struggling in the summer classic there at the home run derby. Just continue to use Aaron. Like, if Aaron Judge isn't in the derby, a Yankee shouldn't be. I'm sorry. Yeah, Ben Rice, I know you were third in baseball in dingers, but good Lord, dude. And he was like barely getting them out yesterday, the 7 that he hit.
He just didn't have it. He did not have it. And we'll talk more on the other side about the home run derby. How did Netflix do? Did we like the old new rules? And plus, our guy Kags, he did do it yesterday. It wasn't his best, but we'll talk about all the bombs he did hit. Coming up next, you're listening to 96.5 The Fan. It's your home for the Kansas City Royals.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Fescoe and Dusty is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Joint pain's awful when you're the person fighting through it, but I'm betting you aren't the only one affected by it. Maybe you love someone who struggles with joint pain, and you see it. You see what they don't say. You see what they've slowly stopped doing. It's July, and the days are long, and the light hangs around, and you want to be outside moving, playing, and living. But instead, you're sitting it out. Let's get your life back at QC Kinetics. That's what they do every single day. People who are stuck in that cycle of pain in their hips, knees, shoulders, and backs are finally stepping out of it with QC Kinetics. They offer regenerative treatments done right in the office. No surgery, no long recovery, and no putting your life on hold. Just real relief. So it's time for you to go see my friends over at QC Kinetics and get that free consultation. Call them at 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Located off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, 816-412-6299.
Conservative, family man, author of The Bald Plan to Reduce Property Taxes. Listen to Scott Schwab.
Property taxes are killing Kansans, but one day it hit me. BALD.
BALD stands for Better Affordable Living by Decreasing Property Taxes. And it's the only detailed plan. Schwab's BALD plan means voter approval for property tax hikes, refunds for unfair assessments, and tax relief for seniors and working families. Listen to Scott Schwab.
I'm focused on reducing taxes for Kansans. You should keep more. My BALD plan makes sure of it. When I'm governor, we'll get it done.
Finally, a governor with a good head on his shoulders. Author of the BALD Plan to Decrease Property Taxes. Conservative Republican Scott Schwab for governor. Visit scottschwab.com/bald to learn more. Paid for by Schwab for Governor, Jim Felter, Treasurer.
At Farmers, our honesty is contagious.
Wait, am I going to catch honesty?
Well, when you're with Farmers, it's kind of inevitable.
Well, how long does it take to... I lied to you when you asked if I knew what a deductible was. I don't know my dad's birthday, and I thought umbrella policies were for rainstorms. Actual rainstorms. I have it, don't I?
You don't just have honesty.
You have Farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or Affiliate. Products not available in every state.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. Too many tools, too much stress, and way too many bills.
Odoo replaces it all. One connected platform for every part of your business, so you can work faster, smarter, and for less. Odoo, the only software you'll ever need. Try it free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Whether you're a DIY enthusiast, a contractor, or business owner, Metal by the Foot has the perfect solution for you. Located in KC and Topeka, online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
Royals coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Traffic for Jay's Southland Tow Service. Be in the know and call Jay's Southland Tow. Missouri side, Grandview Triangle, 470 starting to check in a little sluggish, and then 435 westbound still rolling from Holmes to the state line. Kansas side, 635 southbound, sluggish from Shawnee Drive to I-35. Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident, call Jay's Southland Tow Service, 816-779-4869 or southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments. They can do it all, so be in the know and call Jay's Southland Tow. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
This is your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. KFNC FM and AM HD1 and HD2 Kansas City. An Odyssey Sports Station. This is Fescoe and Dusty.
I got Mahomes' balls in my hands.
On your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Oh, yeah, football.
From potholes to pop-ups, we got it covered.
Hey!
Here's Bob Fescoe.
Take a bite out of my ass.
And Dusty Likens.
Big nuts.
Huge ones on a Tuesday morning, 7:02 with you, 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. Nathan Williams, Logan Weber, Mac Morey here with you for the next 3 hours, and boy, we are having a lot of fun. We just talked Tough Tuesdays. We've done some head coach hot seats in the NFL. We'll get to later on the biggest question to answer in camp, and I want to hear the answer from you guys as well. Training camp, that is, for the Kansas City Chiefs. What is the biggest question that you need answered in training camp? I want to hear all of your answers, so make sure you're a part of the show all morning long on the J Southland Tow Service text line, 913-586-7965 to be a part of the show. But last night, the main story was the home run derby, and it delivered. It delivered, man. You had Kyle Schwarber and you had Jordan Walker there at the end. Kyle Schwarber, it was the new format where you get a number of swings, and you're not timed. You just get a certain amount of swings. So for the beginning round, it was 20, then it went down to 15, and then it was stayed at 15, I believe was what it was. And Schwarber hit 11 home runs on 15 swings, and you're thinking, well, that does it. The Philly guy wins in Philly, cool, awesome. And then here comes Jordan Walker with 9 home runs with 2 swings left, so gets 10, with 9 home runs with 1 swing left, and you get to go until you miss, which I love that rule. So he gets 10 on his last swing, gets 11, and then gets the 12th home run and wins the whole damn thing. The first St. Louis Cardinal to ever win the home run derby. Jordan Walker, good for him, and gets a quick millie from winning the home run derby. That is the prize for winning it, which is not bad. Kyle Schwarber comes in second, you get $500K. And I believe everyone who participated gets some $100K or $75 or something like that. So Cags did make a little bit of extra dough last night. He had 8 home runs, did not make it past the first home run the first round in his 20 swings, 8 home runs. I mean, he had 1 home run in his first 8 swings, I believe it was. After he had 12 swings left, he only had 1 home run. So the fact that he had 7 in his last 12, he got going there a little bit, hit 4 in a row. He had 1 in the third deck. 477, I believe, was the farthest one that he hit. So if you were guessing Jacks on 965thefan.com yesterday, and you guessed 477, boom, you'll have a chance to win some Royals tickets, or you will win 4 packs of Royals tickets for that. So way to go. Good for you. But overall, I mean, I was pretty pleased. I thought Netflix did okay. I know a lot of people are pretty pissed off about the camera angles, the lack of leaderboard stuff on the TV, and no exit velo. I know they could do better with some of the stats, but overall, I thought it was good. I'm not as big baseball fans as you guys, so I don't have a multitude of home run derbies in my history to say, to compare it to. I've got a few. I thought it was solid.
I thought it ran fine. I mean, my expectations were pretty low because of the previous experiences with Netflix live stream events in the past. You know, the Broncos game on Christmas last year, the Steelers game a couple of years ago, where there were so many connectivity issues, network timeouts, all these problems that they had. I mentioned last night on After Hours the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight from a few years ago that had similar issues. You know, the roast, like the Tom Brady roast a couple of years ago that had so many problems. There were it was just over-trafficked. That seemed to run pretty smoothly yesterday. You know, I I really enjoyed the panel that they put together. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a couple of better names. I know that there's people that have all these grievances against Barry Bonds for the steroid things and whatever. You still have to admit that the guy's the all-time home run hitter in Major League Baseball. And you park him next to Albert Pujols on a couch to talk about the home run. You have 1,462 home runs sitting there talking about baseball. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better show of long ball hitters to help set the scene for what this event would inevitably become. The way that they started the broadcast with Will Ferrell and two other Luke Wilson and whoever the hell the other guy was.
Yeah, the other guy's in a show that I think's really funny. I can't remember his name, but he is funny. But I could have done without that.
He had a supporting role in 22 Jump Street. That's the only thing I can remember
he was
him
in that
being
too.
in.
Yes.
I'm what are these three doing here at a home run derby in Philadelphia? That felt a little bit strange. And yeah, the camera angles had their fair share of issues, but I mean, maybe it was just the new format that was doing the bulk of the heavy lifting.
Maybe.
This felt like a better home run derby broadcast than I've seen in quite some time. And again, I don't know if that was Netflix or if that was the new format, but I felt like Netflix, they did a competent job, which I feel like is a compliment considering the trouble that they've had in the past.
Yeah, compared to the other Netflix live events that I've watched, I could not tell I was watching a streaming service yesterday during the broadcast.
Yes.
When I watch football, the fight, things like that, yeah, it's buffering, it's skipping. I know I'm watching a stream. I didn't feel that way yesterday. Once I, of course, went into the app and clicked start, I felt like I was just watching on cable television.
Mm-hmm.
That's a compliment as well. And then I also think, I shared the gripes, and of course on the text line, they're coming in as well about Will Ferrell, all those things. That's every sport does that now. The Super Bowl every year, we have to have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson do something gimmicky for 30 seconds immediately before kickoff, like in the end zone or whatever. We have to roll out a buffer to say it's time, or say their normal thing, every at the start of every big sporting event. That's not a Netflix thing, though. I think they did an okay job.
That's a sports media thing right now. Yeah, I'm with you.
Compared to what another network would have done.
I mean, and to be fair, I guess Netflix did do it to start. Didn't they do the first game of the year? Wasn't that on Netflix for Major League Baseball this year?
Yeah, the Yankees and the Giants.
And they had Bert Kreischer. They did the Bert Kreischer thing. So they have done this now twice. But you're right. I mean, we kind of do this with the big events in sports. Do we really need it? No. But with the big events in sports, you're bringing in people who don't watch the sport very much, the casuals of the casuals. So Will Ferrell may have helped someone, kind of get sucked in, make them laugh, whatever it may be.
The pop culture connections to the sport to try to bring in a new audience or a different audience.
I know a lot of people were upset about the Will Ferrell thing. I mean, I didn't think...
It's not always bad. I was gonna say, I didn't bother me.
It didn't bother me.
As a hardcore fan, I'm like, yeah, I don't need this.
No, of course.
But seeing a Buffer or Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson or whoever, it's not like it's hurting anyone. They are trying to appeal to the casual fan. I get what they're doing.
913, I'm all for his dad in the moment, but just imagine if we had Cags, a pitching coach, throwing the ball to Cags. Yeah, I'm kind of with you. Yeah, I kind of felt like Cags' dad last night was painting corners, was shoving a little bit. But also I think that was something up to Caglione as well. Need some patience. The nerves, I mean, I can't imagine, right? So maybe just take a couple pitches, step out the box, take a breath, whatever it may be. We saw that both from Schwarber and then Walker. I mean, that dude is cool as a cucumber last night. He did not care about the moment at all, and he was just swinging for the fences, and it was really, really cool to see that. But then we've got, Michael Buffer, 785. How much is Let's Get Ready to Rumble price tag? Michael Buffer yesterday, I felt like he was fine. The pageantry of the event, I think, is important. I like pageantry in the big events. I think the NBA Finals, having the big finals and the trophy, and Larry O'Brien on the court, like those things mattered to me. So I felt like yesterday they had the ring and Michael Buffer in there, and they had some celebrities. Like, to me, it should feel big. So I was okay with that.
Yeah, and in Philly, there's the Rocky thing. Netflix has gotten a ton of traffic and a ton of attention because of the boxing events that they've put on in recent years. So I understood the appeal of it. The Philly fans did what Philly fans do. Anybody not named Kyle Schwarber or Bryce Harper was getting the boo birds to the full effect.
Yes, we've had some texts about that today as well.
Which, I mean, that's you should expect that Philly coming in. I felt like Ben Rice expected it because he just started smiling from ear to ear as it was happening. yeah, there's something to like that level of pageantry. But the like throwing the Will Ferrell thing, while it didn't bother me, I knew what it was. Will Ferrell's got this new Netflix thing, this golf thing that is coming out, and somebody in the text line just mentioned he's got a new show coming out on Netflix. So you're sort of like subtly plugging your own thing. Like when I know that I can't blame Netflix for that though, because any national broadcast does. Every time they come back from commercial on CBS Sports, you hear Jim Nantz promoting these 3 random shows that occur on Wednesday nights at 9 and 10 and 11 that you're like, I'm never going to watch that in a million years, Jim, but thank you for sharing that with everybody. It's just kind of what you do nowadays. What you do during you promo.
Yes.
I mean, we know
Sheldon not doing it for you.
No, I wasn't into the Big Bang Theory, let alone Young Sheldon. I'm not watching a prequel.
Yeah, I mean, during the football season, you even here, like we'll have Josh Briscoe or whoever it may be on, and we'll make sure we push the pre-game and the post-game because that's on our stage. I mean, yeah, you promote yourself, so I can't really get mad
at Netflix.
Trying to
up the ratings, trying to keep people on the station.
Yeah, this is the first time, and it's because they're on competing platforms. It's the first Philadelphia event ever that the Always Sunny crew has not been featured at.
It's true.
Ever. They roll that cast out there for every Philadelphia sports thing, but of course, I think they're on Hulu right now, so Netflix didn't do that. But that was like the only celebrity that I didn't see that I expected to see going into it.
I will say, even though Jack didn't maybe perform the way that he wanted to, I still felt like overall my algorithm, and I know my algorithm is biased, but it was coming from non-Royals accounts talking about Caglianone's power and more so making fun of his dad rather than talking about Caglianone sucking. I think last night overall was really good publicity for Jack Caglianone, and in turn for the Kansas City Royals and their new star. So overall, a success. Really fun ending. Netflix did well. No buffering on my part except for Michael at the beginning. Really, really good job by Netflix and by the Home Run Derby overall, in my opinion. Coming up next, we'll try to answer our biggest questions in training camp for the Chiefs. What is yours? 913-586-7965. Your biggest question you want an answer to in training camp for the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll get to it next. Stay locked in. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Hey, it's Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Well, if you're headed out of town and headed up to KCI, then you need to park with my friends over at Park & Go. It's where we park every time we go out of town for a number of different reasons. Number one, it's all covered parking, and we love that. Our car's always protected, whether it's the winter snow, summertime hail. Hey, we're always protected at Park & Go, and they give you a great low rate when you prepay online. You save money. So go to bookparkandgo.com right after you make your flight reservation and book your parking, and then prepay because you save cash. Then you show up on the day of your flight, you give them that reservation number, and they direct you right to that covered parking spot they have reserved for you. And as soon as you get out of the car in no seconds at all, the van is there to take you right to the airport terminal. And when you get back after that long, stressful trip, just grab your bags, walk outside, jump on the bus, and it's right back to the trunk of your car you go. So do what we did and join their frequent parker program and earn points towards free parking. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. The best deals in parking. Bookparkandgo.com. Park & Go, family owned and operated.
Lawman, Jungle Law.
It's the Lawman. If you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident, call me ASAP, 816-816-9111. I recovered millions for my clients. Take it away.
The Lawman gets results. Jungle Law team. Call the Lawman. Let the fight begin. The Lawman gets results. Jungle Law.
Come see me get roasted August 1st at 7 p.m. at the Uptown Theater. Go to junglelaw.com for details.
The choice of a lawyer shouldn't be based on advertisements. Summer savings start now at Hy-Vee's 3-day summer sale. Save big this Friday through Sunday on summer favorites with hot deals throughout the store. Stock up and save big on fresh meat, produce, and other healthy finds. Want an easier way to shop? Order on the Hy-Vee app or at Hy-Vee.com. Choose pickup or delivery, and we'll do the shopping for you. Save time, save money. Shop your way during the Hy-Vee 3-day summer sale this weekend only.
The Hy-Vee Market Grill is the best dining value in town. We love it for breakfast on the weekends, and now Thursday is steak day. You're going to get that perfectly grilled and seasoned steak with a baked potato and a side of sweet corn for just $12. You can't beat that deal anywhere in town. That's why the Hy-Vee Market Grill is a must on Thursdays for steak day. Dine in, carry out, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You're going to love the Hy-Vee Market Grill as much as I do. Don't forget, Thursday, $12 steaks, only at the Hy-Vee Market Grill.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you wash that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, no, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever. Now with odor fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Oh, hey, Sarah. Did you hear my daughter Katie got Camper of the Week?
That's a big deal.
We got a big deal, too. Right, Mom?
Honey, shh.
What's that?
Okay, that Hyundai Santa Fe, I only paid...
Nice.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or 1.9% APR for 72 months on the Hyundai Tucson, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry, offer ends August 3rd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
This July is America's 250th birthday, and Low T Center is celebrating 250 years of freedom with our 250 for 250 deal. All month long, men who start testosterone therapy and stay with it for 90 days earn $250 back. Our founding fathers recognized that to change our circumstances, we must be free. And 250 years later, you still have that freedom. So if you're over 40 and you've been dealing with low energy, low sex drive, you know what it's like not feeling like yourself. You don't have to stay that way. Low T Center is raising the T of America Patriots from sea to shining sea. Come celebrate 250 years of America with Low T Center's 250 for 250 deal. Because bringing back that energy and vitality of your youth is worth celebrating. Visit fixmylowt.com to book your free tea test today. That's fixmylowt.com. Don't miss out on this offer. It ends July 31st. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, it's Carter Jensen, and this is your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
North KC 169 Highway southbound. Slow rolling from 9 Highway to the airport exit. Lee Summit US 50 westbound sluggish from about 3rd Street up to 470. Kansas side 435 southbound starting to slow from Shawnee Mission Parkway down to Midland with construction. Alan Carr 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Keeping it going here on 96.5 The Fan. You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty. Nathan Williams, Logan Weber, Mac Morey with you until 10 a.m. We'll have my guy, Jordan Dejani, an NFL writer for CBS Sports, join us in about an hour. And then at 9 o'clock, Carl Ravitch will come on ESPN Zone. We'll talk Derby. We'll also talk just a little bit about the MLB draft, just consensus on the prospects, maybe a Royals angle here or there. And then one word coming up in just about 10 minutes. But first, I did tease... and I've got a couple of answers from the text line. We'd love more, 913-586-7965. What's your biggest question you want an answer to in training camp for the Kansas City Chiefs? We are 15 days away from training camp beginning July 29th to August 20th is those dates. So what is your biggest question you want an answer to?
This could go a variety of ways. There's so many things I thought of. I mean, the immediate and maybe most obvious question that you want to have answered is who emerges in the wide receiver room? Does anybody emerge in the wide receiver room? But I wanted to go somewhere a little bit different because I am not one of those people, there are many out there right now, that have this belief that Ashton Gillotte is going to be the starter on the edge opposite of George Karlaftis. My biggest question is that going to be for the whole season? Who is going to be the guy who ultimately takes the reins of that gig? Because I wasn't really overly familiar with R. Mason Thomas coming into the draft. I watched a lot of tape on a lot of guys, and R. Mason Thomas was one that just kind of slipped through the cracks for me. But when I watched his tape, I came away incredibly impressed and incredibly excited about his promise and his possibility for this Chiefs defense now and in the future. Like, I think it kind of is borderline obvious that you have like Kyrus Tonga and Omar Norman-Lott and Peter Woods. So that defensive tackle situation is going to be more of a rotational basis outside of Chris Jones. But I really like R. Mason Thomas, and I really truly believe that R. Mason Thomas can more or less usurp Ashton Gillotte and become the full-time starter. It may not happen immediately. Gillotte may be the guy week 1, but he just feels like a George Karlaftis clone a little bit to me, and I don't feel like you can have two George Karlaftises setting the edge for your defense. And I like the speed rush ability, the quick first step, the bend that R. Mason Thomas has on the other side of the edge. You know, he is more in the mold of, and I'm not saying that he's going to be this good. I'm just saying this is the archetype that R. Mason Thomas fits into of a Frank Clark, of a Tamba Hali, of a Justin Houston, a more undersized linebacker-built edge rusher that can get to the quarterback and pairs really well with an edge setter and an edge rusher like George Karlaftis, who uses violence, who uses the ability to get hands-on and rip through. I like that 1-2 punch with a revamped interior with still one of the best in the league, albeit, aging, in Chris Jones. I really do think that R. Mason Thomas can take that over. So that's my big question is Ashton Gillotte going to just completely stranglehold that opposite edge rusher spot, or will somebody else like an R. Mason Thomas take over for him, whether it be week 1 or the midway point of the year, and become that everyday guy and help take this defensive line to the next level, which it needs to be with a young secondary coming into this year.
The question that's connected to that, too, is will Steve Spagnuolo let him?
Yeah.
Because that's what we didn't see on the defense last year. Noah Williams kills it the first 4, 5, 6 weeks of the season. Hey, he's gone. And all of a sudden, it's Christian Fulton, it's Christian Woolen-Wallace, it's all these other guys. And hey, Noah Williams was killing it. And now all of a sudden, Jeffrey Bassa doesn't play a lot of the last season. He was on both sides of the ball. Andy Reid on the offense, too. Hey, the season's done. Get Jalen Royal snaps. 2 catches last year. We don't know what we have in these rookies. We don't know what we have in these second-year players. Will these coaches give them the chance? Because they're going to have to. 816's biggest question that he wants answers is, will the rookies help this team win? They better. If they don't, we're going to be talking about not a fun season. Nathan, what's your question?
Well, I'll take the low-hanging fruit, and that's the wide receiver room. I think my biggest question for the season is what happens to the edge room. I'd be with you on that. This pass rush has to be fixed. But as far as what I can tell in camp, I guess it's a 2-part question. One is there a camp darling? Which, of course, we know there will be. Who is that? And the season-facing question is there a wide receiver 3 or a wide receiver 4 production-wise in this group that we just haven't anointed yet? Because we have a group of them, our Jalen Royals, our Jeff Caldwells, our Cyrus Allens. Just anointing Tyquan Thornton, the wide receiver 3, does not feel great, considering the top end of this wide receiver room isn't elite either. And just it's like a math equation for the yards. If you put numbers to Kelsey and Worthy and Rice, there's still just a bulk, a group of yards that I don't know where they're going through the air.
Yeah.
Unless Mahomes is going to throw for 2,800 yards this season. I don't think that's happening. So who's the camp darling? Like, I know there will be one. Who is it? Which one of these guys flashes?
Is it allowed to be a first-round pick? Could it be Peter Woods? Is that allowed?
I guess I mean out of the
wide receivers. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I hope it's Cyrus Allen. It's Cyrus Allen. I mean, I want it to be Jalen Royals, but I have less hope for that. I mean, I look at him and I know that I'm hard. I mean, he is a specimen of a human being at 22, 23 years old. He looks like a man out there. He did last season too. He's Rashee Rice's size, but weighs more. He's an inch shorter. I just want Jalen Royals to be a guy that we can use.
Yeah.
They've got to have certain options past Tyquan Thornton, because you're right. I was thinking about that the other day. It's those 3 wide receivers, which we already don't feel awesome about. And then after that, it is a massive void.
I'm with you, though. Like Peter Woods, if there is going to be a camp darling, period, Peter Woods.
Yeah, you talk about specimens in the wide receiver room. I think we can all freely admit right now, because it's already started, the camp darling's going to be Jeff Caldwell. He's got an RAS score.
I'm already over it.
His combine is the same as Megatron's.
I'm already done.
My goodness, guys, he was an undrafted free agent.
Yeah,
I know that the measurables are ridiculous. I know that he's 6'6" and 230 pounds, and has a 44-inch vertical, and he has a 4.40 and all the thing. His route running is lackluster. His catch radius is ridiculous, but he has issues with drops. You got to show it to me. I'm sorry, but until it's actually proven on a football field in a regular season game, I'm sitting here bracing for another Justin Ross, Jody Fortson type situation surrounding Jeff Caldwell. I don't buy it with him. I feel like you need to go with somebody a little bit more tangible, like you guys said, a Jalen Royals or a Cyrus Allen, somebody that was drafted for a reason.
Yeah, I'll even say if he ends up being a Jody Fortson type, that would be better than I think this is going to be. Like I think Jeff Caldwell is. This is who's the other one? The other wide receiver, Justin Ross.
Justin Ross.
Yes, Justin Ross. This is of that ilk, and even Justin Ross, you could grab onto something and say, well, before that injury, he was a beast at Clemson. This is a guy who had 300 yards last year, 400 yards last year at Cincinnati, and in his 4th year in college. Listen, I'm the same size as Lionel Messi. Okay. I ain't going to be scoring goals in the World Cup. It's not the way this works. You can find 6'6" guys in the street, and they'll look awesome, but they're not going to be able to do the fundamental things that are of a wide receiver. So for me, I'm going to go who's starting in the secondary. That's my biggest answer in training camp that I want answered, because the whole secondary, it's not just I had Josh Briscoe on yesterday, and he brought up something interesting about that second corner position. Obviously, we know Mansour Delane, 6th overall pick. And to me, I think Noah Williams is that other corner. I think he's going to be one of the leaders of this defense. Going to OTAs, speaking to Spags, that's what I've picked up on. But, Briscoe's in those press conferences too. He's listening as well, and he's asking the question of, is Noah Williams that second starter? And then you go to the slot corner. There's 3 names: Kader Kohu, Jaden Kennedy. You could bring Aloy Gilman, could play safety or slot corner. Who are the starting safeties next to it won't be Jaden Hicks. Chamari Connor could be it. Who's going to be that? There's so many names in that secondary, and I think some of them might be a diamond in the rough here or there. Who's going to step up? Who's going to emerge themselves as, no, this is actually my role? I really hope Jaden Kennedy at some point in the season becomes that guy at the slot corner, 5th round pick out of Oregon this year. I really like him, 4-year starter. He did really, really well last year in the Big Ten. I hope that he can become that role. Maybe it's Kader Kohu to start. And then I hope Noah Williams is our second corner on the outside with Mansour Delane. To me, that felt like a sure thing up until talking to Josh Briscoe a little bit, and he gave me some question marks there. I don't want to see Christian Fulton and L'Jarius Sneed getting over 50% of the snaps this season. That cannot be the case for the secondary. And if it is, then I think we may have a tough row to hoe here. A couple of questions from the text line, and make sure you're a part of the show as well, 913-586-7965 before we get to one word. Can Kelsey perform at a high level? That sucks that question needs to be answered, because to your point, Nathan, you're talking about wide receivers, who's going to step up. Travis Kelsey kind of has to be here still and kind of has to do his thing. They need him to have 70 to 90 catches for 700 to 900 yards next year, and at least probably 5 to 10 touchdowns. That needs to be Travis Kelsey, which is like top 8 tight end in the league still. That's what they need him to do at 37 years old. 785, can the new offensive coaches get and synchronize the offense? It's fantastic. I don't know if we'll have that answer in training camp, but I love that.
And I feel like they're in the right direction. They're moving in the right direction. I mean, from what we saw from OTAs and mandatory minicamp and even rookie OTAs, it felt like a different vibe from the videos you saw, the press conferences, being at these events. Mm-hmm. There is a different mindset. There is a sense of urgency. There is a sense of do or die a little bit that this offense just hasn't had in recent years. We're going to find out if that's better or worse, but we know this offense has been at its best in the last 5 years when it has that sense of urgency, and I think that's why they brought back Eric Bieniemy and paired him with guys that, first of all, know how to coach the position groups that they're coaching, And number two, have a wealth of experience either coaching those positions like Chad O'Shea does or playing that position like a DeMarco Murray does now, the running backs coach with this Chiefs team. I feel like they made some intriguing moves. I wasn't the biggest fan of the Eric Bieniemy hire when it first came out. Like, okay, you didn't try to do anything different. But the position coaches that they went and acquired, I feel like address that need without having to do it by overhauling who your OC is.
Yeah, and Bieniemy could be that guy who maybe gives Andy Reid a little pushback because he knows he has that relationship and that history with Andy Reid. That could be the case there. Guys, I think, or 660, my God, you guys are depressing about the Chiefs for no good reason. I don't think we're being depressing. I think we're being realistic.
I take issue with this text because it's like the question is, hey, what are the biggest question marks on this team?
Yeah,
like, well,
we're talking about the question marks.
Hopefully someone can fill this gap. Like, that's kind of what the question is.
Yeah.
The question might be like, what are you most concerned about?
100%. And then we talk about the concerns. And the question maybe later on this week could be, what are we most excited about? And then we talk about things that were the positive parts of it. I mean, so we can do the other side at some point this week. I don't think we're being depressing at all. I think there's a lot of unknowns with this Chiefs team. That doesn't mean negative. That just means unknown. We don't know.
This isn't, we're not coming off the 2024 season where you went 15-2 and won a Super Bowl. Okay, like this team went 6-11 last year. This was a bad football team a year ago. They're going to be questioned.
Yes, I didn't mean to step on you. And they would have gone like 8-9 had Patrick Mahomes' injury not like. This is not a 6-11 team that is because of a big injury. This is a bad football team last year.
Yes, it was on many accounts, both on the field, off the field, coaching wise, all those things. So yeah, it's fair to have some questions. Nathan, let's get to one word.
One word.
First name is blank, and he goes on a cruise. He goes on a Caribbean cruise.
Katie Holmes.
No.
Are you listening?
What's your least favorite thing about working with yourself?
Body odor. You get one word.
On the count of three, name your favorite dinosaur. 1, 2, 3. Velociraptor.
This is one word on Fescoe and Dusty.
1, 2, 3.
Oatmeal raisin. Oh yeah, it's one word brought to you by Maloney's Sand Trap and The Landing, 3 great local spots that have delicious food. They've got cold beverages, and of course they've got walls full of TVs galore to watch your favorite sports team. They've got the Royals. They've got World Cup today starting at 2, Spain and France, a big match in the semifinals. They all have 3 outdoor patio seating to enjoy that nice spring weather or summer weather, whatever it may be. You should get out there to Maloney's Sand Trap and The Landing. Maloney was sending me pictures of the new Sand Trap patio. Guys, it's going to be sick. It's so nice. And then today at Maloney's, on a Tuesday, you can get Maloney Stromboli, mozzarella cheese, Italian sausage, pepperoni, green peppers, rolled in pizza dough, baked crispy, served with a side of marinara, $13. Whew. Of course, it's Taco Tuesday. Get your tacos, burritos there. $4.50 Mexican beers and margaritas. $6 for a double marg. You can get it going there at Maloney's today. Absolutely. Great time. Love it over there in downtown OP. All right, let's start here. What last night was. One word on the home run derby. Jordan Walker wins it. The first St. Louis Cardinal ever. Our guy Jack Caglione couldn't get out of the first round. 8 home runs on 20 swings. One word on the home run derby.
The one word I will use, I'll just say improved. I don't think it's perfect. I still prefer the old format with the just 10 outs, hit as many home runs as you possibly can versus the swings. But I will say improved. It is better than the timer. You know, even the guys who were the naysayers, the guys who were opponents of changing from the timer format, like a Jeff Passan of ESPN, who we all track pretty consistently. He's one of my favorite followers in sports media. Even he admitted after the fact that he was wrong in his initial reaction. Improved for me.
I'll go emergence. Jordan Walker had the night that we wished Jack Caglione would have. And now we've talked about how Jack Caglione's dad maybe missed the mark a few times. Cags was pressing a little bit. Not that he had a bad performance, but the story going into it locally was, man, is he going to really announce himself nationally? And I feel like that's just exactly what Jordan Walker did last night. Jordan Walker hasn't had a long career, but it's been a fantastic season for the kid. If you're a nerd, a 148 OPS plus on the season. Yeah, how's it going? 148 OPS plus. The guy's a budding superstar. All hate to Logan aside for his Cardinals fandom.
Yeah, come on, man.
He broke out last night in a huge way. Emergence is my one word.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, I'll say fun. I thought it was a great time watching it. I had a good time. This isn't exactly must-see TV for me every year. Caglione made it that for me, and I'm glad I stayed for the whole thing. I had an awesome time. So I would say fun. What wasn't as fun was this Blaze Alexander and Vinny Pasquantino Twitter sort of conversation, or they hashed it out a little bit. I mean, Blaze Alexander was hit by the pitch. The bench is cleared against the Orioles and Royals. Vinny just had a quote like, "We're trying to get outs. We're not trying to give away free base runners." I think that's bad baseball mindset personally, because why would we hit a guy right there? It's just common sense. But he feels good about what he's doing right now, and credit to him. He's having a really good year. That's my perspective on it. Then Blaze Alexander quote tweets that from Jake Rill, which MLB reporter. "Weird take. Never thought it was intentional, but the 2 quick pitches to try and catch me off guard led me to now missing games. Thanks for the compliments, though, Bigfoot." One word.
My one word is levels. And by that, I mean, Blaze Alexander's, there's levels to this game, okay? You are not at the level of being able to go at Vinny Pasquantino on social media. I know you're having a good year, man. Okay, I get it. You're hitting 312. You got an OPS of around 800. Buddy, that's all well and good. This is your first real year in the show, okay? You came up as a rookie 2 years ago. You hit 247 and not even 200 plate appearances. Last year, you hit a whopping 230. Okay, you're sitting here having a conversation with a guy who, yes, admittedly, is having a poor year this year, but is coming off of back-to-back seasons of 30-plus home runs and should have back-to-back years of 100-plus RBIs had it not been for an injury in 2024. Blaze Alexander, you are having your first real taste of success in the big leagues. Vinny Pasquantino has been here. He has done that. In my view, he is a better player than you career stats-wise. There's levels to this, Blaze. Why don't you take a seat and realize where your place is in the grand scheme of baseball here? Why don't you put together another solid year before you go running your mouth?
Yeah, I'm stuck between two here. One is self-proving, and the other one is delusional. Because Vinny Pasquantino says, yeah, he's upset because he feels good about what he's doing. He's telling you about it. And then he gets out here and in his weird take rant, he says, it's the 2 quick pitches to try to catch me off guard. So, like, you're mad that they tried to get you out in a different way? That's what happens when you're a good baseball player. Wait until you get intentionally walked or something because somebody doesn't want to face you. That comes with being good, Blaze. Like, what are you talking about? And then also just, like, look, if you think Lucas Erceg and his 5 ERA is quick pitching you because you're a stud and not because he's trying to do anything he can to get through this freaking inning and get to his 4-day break, you're delusional.
Freddie, we've been following him, our lovely German who's going around all the U.S. watching World Cup games. He's back. He's back on Twitter. One word on Freddie being back.
My one word would be confused. I mean, the tweet that he threw out, there's some of it that I understand and I agree with. You know, there was a ton of vitriol against him. Not a ton, I should say. Some.
Yes.
Maybe the minority that were very strong. Because there were, I mean, he, like, got invited to the White House, and there were some things that felt like it was turning into a bit of a gimmick at a certain point. And fair or unfair, he got heat for that. In my opinion, that would be unfair. The confusion lies in, like, he mentions that, and then he talks about how there were people that were right or wrong trying to reveal his identity. And while I do believe that is wrong, I also believe it's inherently wrong to run an anonymous account on social media. I can't get behind that. I don't enjoy the burners. I don't enjoy this people that they hide behind a fake name or a fake account and they feel like they can say and do whatever they want. It doesn't seem like that's what Freddie is doing in this case necessarily. No. But, you know, he's traveling all around the country. He's gained this massive following on social media. And then he's just like photoshopping Cristiano Ronaldo's face onto his face in all of these photos. Like the post is him at Death Valley at Clemson at their football field.
Yeah.
And his 2 buddies have smiley face emojis over their face, and he's got Cristiano Ronaldo. Like, you can't have, in my view, the good of the social media and the bad of it without expecting the bad, especially considering the fact that you run an anonymous account. Like, inherently, people are going to have questions. People are going to be skeptical. Kind of feels like that goes with the territory. So my one word would definitely be confused.
Yeah, mine's weak. I'm out on Freddie after this one. I mean, I wasn't necessarily his biggest proponent after it got all corporate and stuff, but I just, now look, doxing people is also weak. That shouldn't be happening.
Shouldn't happen.
Even if he had his face and not photoshopped, he shouldn't be getting doxed on Reddit. He's right. But just, you run an anonymous account, you have the time of your life, you go on this trip, you've got corporations tripping over themselves to get you to eat their thing for free or go to their place for free. Even the White House is calling you. and then you do the classic, I'm taking a break and I come back from social media. That act right there, there's almost nothing on this planet that loses respect faster in my eyes than that. That is so annoying. Do not announce your break and your return to social media. I don't care. I'm over Freddie.
That's fair. That's fair. Hey, real quick, season 3 quarterback tonight. One word.
Pumped.
Yep. Same.
I know that.
Pumped.
I know that we don't have Mahomes. You don't have a massive name with season 3. Cam Ward. Our first real look into like a rookie making their way into the National Football League. I'm very excited about that. Excited to see how Jaden Daniels went through his second season in the league, dealing with injuries after such a successful first year. Joe Flacco, I guess Kirk Cousins to some extent, but at the time he was on the show, he was still with Minnesota. So before he reached his like journeyman stage, which is where Joe Flacco is in the midst of, we're seeing him move teams mid-year. That's the first time we're experiencing this in quarterback. And then you've got Baker Mayfield. We're talking about Todd Bowles and him maybe losing the locker room and having a situation where, he went from having a quarterback who was an MVP candidate for 8 weeks to being an afterthought. I'm excited to watch how Baker Mayfield went through last season and the high highs of the first half of the year with the utter collapse that was Tampa Bay in the back half of this season in 25.
My one word would be breaking. I had no idea this was news until Mac put it in the rundown.
Yes.
So great. But I haven't watched in season 1. But like Logan, you just like laid out perfectly why each of these guys are
interesting. It's going to be fun,
and you're right. I'm tuning in.
Oh, absolutely. Excited, locked in. I will be watching that tonight. And you should go, before you watch it tonight, you should go to Maloney's. Maloney's Stromboli, mozzarella cheese, Italian sausage, pepperoni, and green pepper rolled in pizza dough and baked crispy, served with a side of marinara, all for $13. Plus tacos, burritos, $4.50 Mexican beers, and margaritas, $6 for a double marg. One word. Smash. Brought to you by Maloney's, Sandtrap, and The Landing, all 3 with great patio seating. Coming up next, one of the greatest video games of all time has come back into our lives, guys. Which game that you grew up with would you want to make a comeback? We'll talk about it next. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Fescoe and Dusty.
Every Hardee's is closed.
Well, that dog.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Men, if your energy is down, your workouts aren't producing results, you're gaining stubborn weight, losing muscle, sleeping poorly, or just not feeling like yourself anymore, it may be more than just aging. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. Our low T and body composition treatments are designed to help men regain energy, improve focus, sleep better, build lean muscle, reduce unwanted fat, and restore confidence both in and out of the gym. At Heartland Men's Health, we specialize in helping men optimize their health, performance, and vitality. Using personalized medical treatments tailored to your health and goals, many men begin noticing improvements in energy, mental clarity, recovery, motivation, libido, and overall body composition within just a few weeks. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, PSA and T-test, and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Is anyone paying attention to rural Kansas? Everything costs way too much, and the politicians in Topeka keep siding with big tech and give a thumbs up to these massive data centers. We need someone who will fight for our farmers and ranchers and all the working people of Kansas. Vicki Schmidt is running for governor. She's the insurance commissioner who is laser focused on lowering costs and taking a stand against these out-of-state tech companies. Vicki's running mate is Joe Newland. He's the former Kansas Farm Bureau president who has spent his career farming himself and advocating for our rural communities. Vicki Schmidt and Joe Newland will fight tirelessly to protect our land, water, and way of life. That's why the Kansas Farm Bureau has endorsed Vicki and Joe. Finally, someone who has our back. Vicki Schmidt and Joe Newland for governor and lieutenant governor. Defend US PAC paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Dustin McIntyre, Treasurer. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. DefendUSPAC.us.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. so shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Here's a World Soccer Championship Team Spotlight, brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
Spain enters the knockout stage as one of the tournament favorites, a beautifully balanced side built on fluid possession and quick movement. La Roja has controlled matches with technical precision, and its depth across every position makes Spain one of the teams to beat.
Brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit swlinjurylaw.com.
Kansas side 70 westbound before 18th Street Expressway accident blocking 2 left lanes. Heavy delays approaching coming over from South 7th Street. 670, the heavier component of this, with westbound traffic bogging down as you cross the bridge. Heading 635 southbound, very slow from Gibbs to I-35. 435 southbound solid from Wood End down past Shawnee Mission Parkway with roadwork taking away the left lane. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Ooh, nothing like a morning Bink rant. Jay Binkley already in. You can hear him and Cody Tapp and Drew Nixon from 10 until 2 p.m. He was not pleased with the Netflix broadcast last night. Hey, he brought up some good points. I get it. Did take a little too long. I did think that. Didn't ruin the event for me, but I understand. Longer than a baseball game. You don't want to watch batting practice for that long or a glorified one, but I still thought I had a good time. I've had also a really good time, not going to lie. Get a little nerdy here, because this segment is a little nerdy.
I'm excited for it. I've been called a nerd already this week.
Hey, dude, yeah, you're a Cardinals fan and you're a nerd. Okay, we get it.
Double whammy. 2 strikes. I'm about to K here.
And we already have some good texts about some games that you missed, some video games that you would love to come back into the new gen, or the current gen, rather. Because Black Ops and Black Ops 2 have both now resurfaced. They have reopened the multiplayers. Luckily, I have a friend who gave me an old PS4 like a while ago, and so I was able to create an account and buy the game, and I have been playing Black Ops 2. I love it. It feels nostalgic. It's fantastic. Had to turn off my mic in the chat room because that was also a little bit too nostalgic as well. Some of that going on in there. Guys, chill. But yeah, if you could pick an old gen game to put on current gen, what would it be? We've already got some good texts. One that agrees with me. I miss the OG Halo and Halo 2, where you had to lug your Xbox to a friend's house, play split screen against your friends in person. The smack talking was legendary. I got the end piece of that for sure, mainly because I had 2 older brothers, so I was playing Halo at 7 years old. Love Halo. Halo 3 was my answer personally, 913, because that was the best multiplayer in my opinion. Halo 3 was just incredible. But Logan, what is it for you?
Well, my answer would have been the original Call of Duty Black Ops, but since
they did it,
since the good folks at Activision and Call of Duty have seemingly done one thing right in the last decade, I don't have that answer to give. I've really enjoyed it. I'm an original just Call of Duty Black Ops 1 guy. I've been playing the game quite a bit lately. Zombies still holds up. Multiplayer still holds up. It's not just the nostalgia. It still hits.
It's a damn good game.
And maybe not quite the same as it did when I was 12 years old because, I'm employed and I have responsibilities and I can't just sit in front of a TV screen and play it 12 hours a day the way I used to. But if I had to go back, and I know I'm picking another shooter, another first-person shooter at that, but I grew up, like, the first video games I can remember playing were, like, old NCAA football games, like NCAA Football 04, Carson Palmer on the cover, you know?
Yeah.
The old Madden 04, Michael Vick, an absolute cheat code. Those were the games, but also playing the original Call of Duty games, Finest Hour, Call of Duty Classic, Call of Duty 2, Big Red 1. So my answer would be, on the flip side of that, does anybody remember the old Medal of Honor games?
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking like Medal of Honor Frontline, Medal of Honor Rising Sun, European Assault. Like, there were, Medal of Honor Frontline, like that first mission where you're storming the beaches of Normandy, it's straight out of Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
It is cinematic video game gold. And like Medal of Honor Rising Sun, your first mission is you were on the USS Arizona during the attack on Pearl Harbor. Like, those were such foundational games for me, and I think a huge part of why I ultimately have become such a gigantic history nerd. I would love to have a remastered version of those video games to come back and play today. I don't need the multiplayer, okay? I'm approaching 30. I'm discovering that my online capabilities are pretty washed at this point. Like, I cannot play MLB The Show online anymore.
These kids are cracked.
Yeah, they're unreal.
They're insane.
Like, I now understand what it must have felt like for people who were my age 15 years ago when I was that 12 and 13-year-old kid who would just dismantle you and then rip you and just rake you over the coals in the game chat. Yeah, I want my campaign. I want my 8 to 10 hours of just single-player, stress-free game that I can just sit in my basement and do and not have to worry about the rest of the world for a little while. I would say the old school Medal of Honor games, any of them.
Love it.
All right, sorry, guys. I just got the Bink rant over here. What were we talking about here?
Yes!
I did get it.
He's making the rounds.
You
He's
gotta
making the
listen to
rounds.
Cody and Gold. The first 5 minutes of that's going to be electric.
It's going to be amazing.
He's fired up.
Yes.
Oh, man. Yeah, the show's already planned out. He's ready to go.
Yeah, I didn't like it, Nathan. I didn't like it.
He hated it. Yeah, he used some choice words.
That sucked.
Yeah. Look, I think this came up with Logan a couple weeks ago on the air. I was not allowed to play shooter in any video games with violence in them when I was growing up. So
fair enough.
It's first-person shooter. It's any storyline games where someone might die or whatever. So I've played some of those when I get older, but my nostalgia is in sports games. And so I want a game that was not a multiplayer that you could hop on the mic for. I want that on the mic now. That's NFL Street. Can you imagine running somebody over with Derrick Henry, scaling a wall with Tyreek Hill, or sacking him with Myles Garrett or Trey Smith or something? Because you get one O lineman, one D lineman. And then Logan, just making them feel terrible about themselves over the mic afterwards. That would talk about trash talk.
Yes.
NFL Street would go crazy in a lobby. Anyway, no, I've been pining for this for so long. I hope it happens one day. I want to see NFL Street officially remastered.
Yes, I feel like that'll happen because we're getting NBA Street kind of remastered right now. They got a new game that's similar. It's basically NBA Street, but it's not.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it is. But yeah, it looks exactly like it. I feel like we'll get a football version of that soon because, we want that back. Let's make... We did the thing for the last 20 years where it's like make the video game as realistic as possible. I feel like we swung the pendulum too far. Now we're like, hey, but it is a video game, right?
Agreed.
So some people are just a little too sweaty on those. We've got a bunch of texts. GoldenEye 007, love it. The OG Tony Hawk on PlayStation, let's go. SSX Tricky, did you guys ever play that?
Never played it.
Snowboarding game. It was so much fun on PS2. It was fantastic. I think it was on PS2. We got Duke Nukem, OG Modern Warfare 2, absolutely. Twisted Metal, NFL Blitz, NHL Blitz, little remake of GoldenEye.
The old Gears of War games, if anybody recalls playing that, like Gears of War.
I played the first one a lot. Yeah, I played
Gears of War 2.
The campaign.
Those were so good.
Those were fantastic. Great stories.
Dude, somebody's pulling out the SOCOM franchise. Does anybody recall that? Is that a niche reference?
SOCOM?
Yeah. That's another old school first-person shooter game.
Yeah.
Dude, they were so much fun. SOCOM and SOCOM 2. I think they came out with like a third and a fourth one, and that was like it. But you were like a Navy SEAL.
Oh, yeah, you're a Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
Third-person shooter.
Yeah, they were, it was a
PlayStation
third-person,
2.
it sort of was like a mixture because it was third-person between like Halo and Call of Duty in a sense. It was a little bit more clunky, but I really enjoyed those. Those missions were a lot more like niche, like the objectives. It felt a lot truer to the military than some of the other things. Yeah, somebody mentioned like Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
I love that.
That's been remastered, so I don't feel like you can use
That's
that as
fair.
an answer.
You're right. They did just do that.
It was good too. It was a fun.
Was
remake.
it?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I should do that.
Not like the originals, but like it was just the nostalgia of it.
Yes, exactly. Just give us the nostalgia. We're all there. Fight Night, Road Rage, love that. Wave Runner, Ocarina of Time, Backyard Baseball coming back in August.
Yes,
it's on its
sir.
way. It's on its way. I need Guitar Hero from the 816. Yeah, bring back Guitar Hero. Give me Rock Band.
Yeah, dude.
absolutely.
Rock Band.
Sick.
Oh, it was so much fun, dude. It was so much fun.
Shout out to the Beatles Rock
I
Band.
was literally about to say.
Oh, I played that game so damn much. It was unreal. Somebody threw out, and this is probably the answer I should have given now that I'm thinking about it. How, can we bring back a college basketball video game? I know that 2K is saying they are, but like, how many teams are we going to have?
Can we have
folks?
2K not do it? Can we have someone else do the game as well? That would be awesome.
I'm not sure I trust EA to do it.
No, not EA either. Someone else step
I trust
up.
2K slightly more. Just please, for the love of God, don't let San Diego Studios do it. That's all I'm asking. All I'm asking is don't let San Diego Studios do it.
No, that's totally fair.
Logan gets obliterated in these Diamond Dynasty. He gets he's so
dude. The Weekend Classic missions this week, trying to get these All-Star Game cards, I had to message dudes on PlayStation. Like I had to open up the app on my phone and be like, "Listen, man, I will let you win. Just for the love of God, let me get 2 extra base hits and 3 runs, and you win. I will concede the game and give you the W. Just please let me get these challenges done so I don't have to do this crap anymore." Oh, I'm just trying to get the 98 Soto, please.
What we do for the games that we love. We're still getting those texts. Make sure you be a part of the show, 913-586-7965. On the other side, who's going to pay for the way this Royals season's gone? Right? Because, again, we brought it up earlier. We had expectations. We had a standard set, and that's what Vern even said this year. This year was supposed to be the standard. Well, if this is the standard, man, I don't like it. Who's going to pay for it? You're listening to 96.5 The Fan. It's your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Bob Fescoe.
I'm surprised nobody punched him in the jaw yet.
And Dusty Likens.
He's a hoe, and I want that known.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Joint pain's awful when you're the person fighting through it, but I'm betting you aren't the only one affected by it. Maybe you love someone who struggles with joint pain, and you see it. You see what they don't say. You see what they've slowly stopped doing. It's July, and the days are long, and the light hangs around, and you want to be outside moving, playing, and living. But instead, you're sitting it out. Let's get your life back at QC Kinetics. That's what they do every single day. People who are stuck in that cycle of pain in their hips, knees, shoulders, and backs are finally stepping out of it with QC Kinetics. They offer regenerative treatments done right in the office. No surgery, no long recovery, and no putting your life on hold. Just real relief. So it's time for you to go see my friends over at QC Kinetics and get that free consultation. Call them at 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Located off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, 816-412-6299.
Is your garage door too loud and whining for help? Overhead Door Company of Kansas City will make it all better. They will perform their full 26-task garage door tune-up for just $79. That's just $79 for up to 3 garage doors and openers. You need this done once a year, so why not now? And for just $79. Call Overhead Door Company of Kansas City at 816-221-0072 or schedule online at overheaddoorkc.com.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Ah. Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
Hi, I'm Jacob, your friend and an actual jeweler craftsman at Shane Company. I'm proud to work for a family business that's been committed to the highest quality standards for nearly 100 years. Your dream engagement ring is designed for quality every step of the way. We set your diamond by hand, not with machines. Prong tips are beautiful and secure, and intricate details are thoughtfully crafted. At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Because a friend knows true love deserves the highest quality. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Brought to you by Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Visit ClimateControlKC.com. Climate Control has been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years and know how to get your cooling system ready to handle the scorching hot summer. Schedule your AC system tune-up for just $49. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
For 75 years, Kansas City families have trusted Anthony for comfort, safety, and dependable service. Thank you for trusting us with your house keys. Anthony, in your home for 75 years.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Brought to you by Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. Kansas side 70 westbound past 7th Street traffic way with an accident. 2 left lanes blocked. Delays on 670 pretty heavy for about a mile. Home issues rarely happen at a convenient time. When HVAC, plumbing, or electrical issues happen, you need a team that shows up. Even on weekends and holidays, Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric shows up. With flexible financing, comfort is always within reach. Plus, enjoy $500 off a new HVAC system this summer. Schedule today at AnthonyPHCE.com. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Hey, it's Carter Jensen, and this is your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. Welcome into Fescoe and Dusty.
I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing here?
A show that, analytically, exists between 6 and 10 weekday mornings on Kansas City's only FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Oh, buddy.
Live from the studios that brought you.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Here's Bob Fescoe and Dusty Likens.
What is going on here on a Tuesday morning? 96.5 The Fan. Nathan Williams, Logan Weber, and myself, Mac Moore, here. Another 2 hours left to go, and it's been a blast so far. We were just talking video games as the text line still pours in with just awesome nostalgic pulls. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. It's been so much fun talking about that. It's always nice to kind of take a trip back and be like, oh man, those were the days. Just PlayStation 2, your boys, a Mountain Dew, and staying up too late, trying to be quiet and have your mom not hear you guys. It's awesome. Super Mario Bros. Strikers, great combo of sporty and nerdy. 913, yes, all day.
Makes me think of MVP baseball.
Yeah, we had that text as well. We had an MVP baseball text. Yeah. We've hit the violent games, we've hit the sports games, we've hit the Mario games. We've hit them all. So you can keep texting those in at 913-586-7965. All right, so we before I said who's going to pay for the way this Royal season goes, because I think, Logan, you put this in the doc. Does Q get the hook before or after the season? What do you think?
To me, that feels like the point we're at now. And the question coming into the year was, it started out as, does Matt Quattrero get fired or not? At this point, to me, it feels like an inevitability. It feels like now the question is, does he get the hook in September or does he get the hook after the season ends? I just think that, and this is sort of an outside looking in perspective, it feels to me like he's lost the clubhouse. It just seems like I can't help but go back to March during the World Baseball Classic and look at some of the guys that are on this team, looking at Maikel Garcia and Salvi competing for Venezuela and having so much fun and playing good ball, seeing Vinny Pasquantino and Jack Caglione and Team Italy just take the sports world by storm, seeing Bobby Witt Jr. finally, what felt like for the first time in his career, getting flowers across the baseball landscape for his talent and having fun doing it. And then it seemed like as soon as these guys got back with the Royals to begin this season, the fun went completely out the window. These guys don't seem to be enjoying playing baseball right now, at least not outwardly. We've seen Salvador Perez and Matt Quatrero have their little tete-a-tete with the whole, taking a break, and he's like, I don't need a rest day. I don't need a mental day, or whatever the situation was with Salvador Perez. That's your captain. And when he's going on social, when he's going out publicly via social media or via the media in general and saying things like that, that's never a good look. And so I think that something's got to give. And I am one of those people, and JT and I disagreed pretty strongly on this yesterday. He believes that JJ Piccolo is more to blame for this situation. I believe Matt Quatrero is more to blame. I believe that they both deserve.
JT said JJ?
Yeah, JT said that JJ Piccolo deserves the bulk of the blame. They both do in some respect. Who has more or less is up to interpretation individually. I think they both need to go. I don't think you fire your general manager in the middle of the year, but I think that something's got to give, and it has to start with Matt Quatrero. And the biggest reason why I say that is because this man gave Alex Zumwalt the Q seal of approval, and in my view, it hasn't gotten better. People were calling for his head last year. I was one of them. Nothing has seemingly improved. In my view, this team is still horrid with runners in scoring position. That's the kiss of death for me, for Matt Quatrero, is you stuck your neck out for your hitting coach. No marked signs of improvement have been shown. You've got to go because that guy has to go, and you're the one that put yourself in the same boat with him.
Okay, I would agree with JT that if we were handing out blame, I would give more to JJ. I'm sorry.
Me too.
This roster was built on the assumption we were going to get the best version of every player on it. We were going to get 2024 Seth Lugo. We were going to get 2024 Cole Reagans. We were going to get a healthy Michael Massey. We're going to get a healthy Vinny Pasquantino. We were going to get 2021 Salvador Perez, 25 Michael Garcia. I could go on and on down the list. Estevez, everybody. And almost none of it happened. And so maybe there was too much regression here, that maybe the worst team in baseball shouldn't have been expected, but I don't think falling short of goals should be a surprise to anyone. It hinged on a lot of guys repeating things that maybe are one-offs and not like career-defining trajectories. That said, we talked about it earlier. I talked about the A's pitching coach. When things fail like this, heads have to roll. I'm not going to sit up here and defend Matt Quatrero. I can't tell. Logan, I have nothing to come back to you to and say, yeah, he has a hold of this clubhouse. Look at this. Or this thing got better year over year. Even something small like base running, fielding. I can't look at anything and tell you, yeah, but they're doing well in the peripherals. So I think it is going to happen, but I think it's going to happen after the year. And I hope that it happens after the year because... And for everything I understand, Paul Hoover, wonderful guy, good bench coach, could be a head coach in the league one day, a manager in the league one day. I don't want an interim head coach. I keep saying head coach. Football's on the brain, I think. I don't want an interim manager that then sticks next year because the Royals go 30-15 over the last 6 weeks of the year, and we think, oh, this guy's the solution. I want something outside. So I hope it happens after the season.
Do you think it will, though?
I think it will.
Really?
I do. At this point in time, I would say yes. Look, they're tied for the worst record in the league. This is a team that we seriously picked to win the division. Not like,
not biased.
The thing that I always say is, if Mondesi stays healthy, we'll win the division. They actually should have been a playoff team.
And it wasn't just us here at 96.5. It was outside. It was national perspective, too. You could talk to other people. We'll have Carl Ravitch on, and we can talk to him about this Royals season, the Royals draft, the home run derby. We'll have him on at 9 o'clock. But, there were national perspectives that said, no, this Royals team should be good. So it's not even just a, biased thing. No, there were real expectations, and there were real reasons to have those expectations. I have no reason to think that anyone's getting fired this offseason. And if you want to convince me otherwise, please do it. It's because the worst record in baseball doesn't do it. This team's been bad before, and guys haven't gotten canned. This is now 19 seasons that JJ Piccolo and this front office has been here, and they've been here that long. And we've had as many winning seasons as we've had 100 lost seasons, right? We've had 990 lost seasons. You can hang on to the World Series appearances as much as you want, but at some point, what have you done for me lately? And at this point, I don't think there's any reason to believe. They just gave Quatrero an extension.
Yeah.
We know this team's tight with cash. At least they act like they are. So, no, I don't believe that anyone's getting canned this offseason, and I think it's going to be very, very infuriating for many, including me. But there's no reason to believe give me something to believe that something will happen.
The thing that I point to as to why, if you're going to make a change at the manager spot, if you're going to make a change at general manager, both of which I think you need change, to do it this offseason, despite the fact that Q got the extension back in March, right? I think that's probably the biggest hurdle that they would have to overcome. Mm-hmm. We are standing on the brink of what may end up becoming the largest lockout, the longest lockout in the history of Major League Baseball. And so to sit and retain a manager when you may not have baseball next year, coming off of an incredibly disappointing season. And I know that it will be difficult to try to cultivate relationships in the midst of a lockout, but if you bring in a new manager, if you bring in a new GM this offseason and you don't have baseball next year, that's a full season. That's a full year's worth of getting to get your feet wet in this organization, getting to work or not work, I guess, to some extent, with the players, with the other front office individuals, with John Sherman as the ownership. I look at it from that perspective of this is the best time to do it. Rather than giving yourself 4 or 5 months to try to get this thing to gel together, you give yourself an additional year, albeit during a lockout. I understand that perspective of maybe not being able to communicate openly with these guys.
What can you get done? Yeah.
I think that you can get yourself maybe a little bit further ahead of the curve, so to speak. Will that happen? I don't know. But I'm with you at the same time, Nathan. Like, if you're going to fire Q, I feel like you have to fire JJ. You have to go.
JJ's the one who brought Q in. And like from the 417, can JJ actually hire someone with a different mindset than Q? We don't even know Q's mindset. This is JJ. This is JJ's mindset. He's implemented this sort of thing. It may not even be Matt Cutrero. So, like, I don't even know. Yeah, you have to. If you fire one, you have to get rid of both. And I don't think either will happen. And I think we'll be staring at the same group of leadership here in the Kansas City Royals. And we'll bring that up later. We'll bring that up back in the 9 o'clock hour pace, possibly, because we've got some good texts as well. But we've got to get out because what are the best storylines in the upcoming NFL season? We're going to talk that with my friend and NFL writer for CBS Sports, Jordan Dejani, coming up next. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Jack Caglione, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty. Weekday morning starting at 6 right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
That wreck really took everything off track. Can't work, can't help with the kids. The bills are stacking up.
Then stop waiting. Call the Car Crash Kings, SWL Injury Law. Car crashes, that's what they do.
Yeah?
Yeah, they go to work so you can get your life back and get paid what you're owed.
Don't get pushed around. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjurylaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
When it comes to my policy, Farmers gives it to me straight, so there's no surprises.
It's your coverage. You should never be confused.
You hear that? An insurance provider with a conscience.
We're a choir, but yes, we have that too.
Straightforward coverage you can literally understand. That's what you get when
you have Farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or Affiliate. Products not available in every state.
This July is America's 250th birthday, and Lotse Center is celebrating 250 years of freedom with their 250 for 250 deal. All month long, men who start testosterone therapy and stay with it for 90 days earn $250. You're over 40, you've got low energy, low sex drive, not feeling yourself. Lotse Center is raising the T of America Patriots from C to shining C. Come celebrate 250 years of America with Low T Center's 250 for 250 deal. Visit fixmylowt.com and book your free tea test today. That's fixmylowt.com. Offer in July 31st. Terms and conditions apply.
By now, you've heard that Booth Creek Wagyu steaks and beef are the best tasting, most flavorful cuts you've ever had. And if you don't believe us, try it for free. Try Booth Creek Wagyu anytime at 95th and Knoll or 135th and Metcalf. Stop by our store and we'll prepare a free mouth-watering sample of your selected choice cut. Heart-healthy, low-cholesterol, authentic American, full-blooded Wagyu steaks and beef. We know you'll love it as much as we do. Crafted for exceptional beginnings. Join the Booth Creek Wagyu revolution at boothcreekwagyu.com.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And we cut to size, because just like taxes and BS, we think metal is better when cut. Metal Supermarkets, the convenient stores for metal. Find a store or shop online at metalsupermarkets.com.
While the world watches the stars at the FIFA World Cup this summer, Hyundai has its eyes on the next generation of talent. The future stars who are already turning heads at age 14. Because next doesn't wait for an invitation, and neither do we. Hyundai has always moved the future within reach. We did it when we made advanced safety standard on every vehicle and engineered EVs with ultra-fast charging capability. Because the future isn't some far-off concept, it's already here. Next starts now. Hyundai, an official partner of FIFA.
Hey, it's Seth Lugo, and this is your home for Royals Baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Brought to you by Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. Kansas side 70 westbound past 7th Street. Traffic way with an accident. 2 left lanes blocked. Delays on 670. Pretty heavy for about a mile. Home issues rarely happen at a convenient time. When HVAC, plumbing, or electrical issues happen, you need a team that shows up. Even on weekends and holidays, Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric shows up. For flexible financing, comfort is always within reach. Plus, enjoy $500 off a new HVAC system this summer. Schedule today at AnthonyPHCE.com. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Back from the break here, 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. Listening to Fescoe and Dusty, Nathan Williams, Logan Weber, and Mac Morey. Now joined by an old friend, NFL writer for CBS Sports. Haven't talked to him in ages, Jordan Dajani. Jordan, what's up, brother?
Yo, my friends, what's going on? Hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for having me on the show. Excited to talk some ball with you guys this morning.
Dude, let's go. I was just saying earlier in the show, bro, we're getting geared up. The juices are flowing. Training camp's a couple weeks away, and that means takes are going. We talked head coaches on the hot seat, which I know you did an article about earlier, and I actually didn't even get to read it until after I came up with mine. Read it, and it was like, okay, good. We're on a lot of the same page. You had Zach Taylor. All three of us talked about Zach Taylor. You had Todd Bowles, Aaron Glenn. You had Shane Steichen, which Logan talked a lot about as well today. So we're on the same page with head coach hot seats. We'll kind of jump around here, but give me your biggest storyline going into training camp, just around the NFL. What's a storyline that you're watching right now?
Oh, man, I'm juiced. There's a ton of them, right? We've got quarterback battles all over the place with the Cleveland Browns, the Minnesota Vikings, the Atlanta Falcons. I'm intrigued how Malik Willis is going to look, that prize free agent addition at quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. How about the AFC West? I mean, the health of Patrick Mahomes and Bo Nix is going to be under a spotlight. And speaking of the AFC West, what is this Chargers offense going to look like under Mike McDaniel? That's going to be pretty intriguing. I'll tell you right now, I'm buying a lot of Bengal stock, so I'm kind of interested to see what the defense is going to look like. Some early headlines coming out of training camp from Cincinnati. And finally, how about the Jacksonville Jaguars? That's an interesting team that made the playoffs, won the division last season. Are they a prime candidate for regression, or is Trevor Lawrence going to keep on his MVP trajectory?
I'm totally with you on the Cincinnati Bengals, bro. All in on that team. Obviously, we know what the offense can do. And then you mentioned the defensive additions seem like they're going to have a real impact. Are they the kind of zero to hero team for you?
Yeah, I think so. If you were to ask me a sleeper, and granted, any team with Joe Burrow is probably not a sleeper, but I'm looking at this Bengals team and I'm saying, okay, listen, the defense was just an absolute tragedy. It was a disaster over the past couple seasons, keeping Joe Burrow out of the playoffs. Joe Burrow needs to stay healthy. That's priority number one. That did not happen last season, of course. And yeah, they did lose Trey Hendrickson and Joseph Asai, but you brought in a pass rusher who I think is very underrated from the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks with Boye Mafe. You get Brian Cook from Kansas City. Defensive tackle Jonathan Allen. He traded for Dexter Lawrence. And in the draft, they drafted the electric Cassius Howell, the big corner Takario Davis, and got a new center in Connor Lew. So I think that Cincinnati is primed to have a bounce back this season. And that's why I listed Zach Taylor on this hot seat list. Because if the Bengals can't get it done this year, they can't get back to the postseason, I wonder if that franchise is going to start thinking about making a change.
As we're sitting here talking about different quarterback situations around the National Football League, one that intrigues me is the New Orleans Saints. Tyler Shuck came in about partway through the year and seemed to really show some good flashes. He gave the people of New Orleans and Saints fans a lot of confidence coming into this year. I see the Saints as a sort of under-the-radar dark horse team that really has a chance to push in that NFC South division. Is there a team or two, and maybe one of them is New Orleans, that you see as being a club that maybe underperformed last year that may surprise some people coming up here in 2026?
Well, I'm upset with you. You took my team, okay? The New Orleans Saints sitting there at 6-11 last year, I think, is one of my sleeper teams because not only do they reside in the worst division in the NFL, I mean, the Carolina Panthers won it with an 8-9 record. The Buccaneers with Baker Mayfield's injuries were tough. I got no faith in the Atlanta Falcons with Tua Tagovailoa. So I'm looking at the New Orleans Saints with Tyler Shuck. People don't realize it, but I think Tyler Shuck was the best rookie quarterback last year over guys like Cam Ward and Jackson Dart. I'm not saying Tyler Shuck has the highest ceiling out of all these young signal callers, but he helped Chris Olave had a career year, and he also got Jordan Tyson in the draft, who is arguably wide receiver one in this class. If that is a young playmaker that can remain healthy, put those concerns behind him, you got to wonder what this Saints offense is capable of. And, of course, they got Travis Etienne in free agency from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alvin Kamara is still on roster. We'll see how that goes. But this Saints team, to me, is a sleeper. I'm not saying that they're a Super Bowl sleeper, but they could be a team that could potentially win the worst division in the NFL.
Yeah, Tyler Shuck kind of showed us he could sling a little bit. Here talking with Jordan Dajani, NFL writer for CBS Sports. Jordan, ESPN does all these lists, does all these rankings. Yesterday, the newest quarterback rankings came out, and Patrick Mahomes was not number one. He was number two. And the lowest ranking they had him as, someone said he was the 9th best quarterback in football. Listen, obviously we're here in KC. We bleed red and yellow. But am I biased? That's a little crazy, right?
Yeah, the coach who did that was probably residing somewhere in the AFC West because that's just absolutely bananas. It makes no sense. Listen, if I'm giving my quarterback rankings, it's kind of hard for me not to go with Josh Allen at number one. I just feel like he's this unicorn. I think he has 3 seasons in which he threw for 25 touchdowns and rushed for 12 more. No other quarterback has done that once. And he's doing this with not a lot of help around him. I know that James Cook is probably one of the best running backs in the NFL, but you look at that wide receiving core. Who was his wide receiver one? Is it Khalil Shakir? Now you get DJ Moore into the mix, and he's going to play an important role in this offense with the new head coach, Joe Brady. And Buffalo's one of those teams to watch this year, certainly. But at number 2, I think that's also where I would have Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he's still one of the best in the business, I still think he's arguably the face of the NFL. And I'm going to take him over a guy like Joe Burrow, who has struggled to remain healthy. Matthew Stafford, who I love, is one of my favorite players of all time. I mean, he's getting close to 40 years old now. He's still going to be somewhere in that top 5. And yeah, I'm still taking Patrick Mahomes over Lamar Jackson too.
So, Jordan, as we look, you mentioned the AFC West, somebody putting Mahomes as the 9th best quarterback in the league. I think it's fair to assume that coach probably resides in Los Angeles or Denver, more than likely. But as we look at the other team in the AFC West, the Las Vegas Raiders, they have a lot of interesting storylines that surround them. You draft Fernando Mendoza with the first overall pick, but you also brought over Kirk Cousins from Atlanta. And it seems like they're going to give Cousins the keys to begin the season. How do you see that quarterback battle playing itself out? Does Fernando Mendoza take over for him at some point if the team is struggling? Or does it feel like a situation where Cousins is the guy for a year as kind of a bridge, and then Mendoza is given the keys next year?
Yeah, it's a good question because we know that Kirk Cousins is going to start the year. It's not necessarily a quarterback battle. And my question is, okay, well, if this Raiders team is actually somewhat improved and they're competitive, is it possible that Kirk Cousins could play the entire year with Mendoza on the bench? I do think that's a possibility, but I don't think the Raiders are going to be good enough where they can just keep the rookie quarterback on the bench. They're still going to be losing games. Let's put it that way. And there's going to be a natural insertion point for Fernando Mendoza to get into the starting lineup. But it's funny because I actually wrote an article for CBSSports.com on this just yesterday. Because, I mean, if you ask me, I would say, yeah, it's probably best if you can afford to sit your rookie quarterback, no matter if he's the number 32 overall pick or number 1 overall pick, just for him to learn the ways of the NFL, especially behind a veteran like Kirk Cousins. It makes sense. But we had Doug Peterson on CBS Sports yesterday, and he made the case. He was like, if you truly believe that this rookie quarterback is going to be your face of the franchise and you are 100% sold on that, then it actually makes sense to play him right away. Let's get that learning curve started right now. Let's get these growing pains out of the way because, again, this guy is going to 100% be this guy. And he went back to his days when he was with Philadelphia. Remember, Sam Bradford was supposed to start over Carson Wentz back in the day, but they kind of switched course and said, actually, we think Carson Wentz is that guy. So they traded Sam Bradford away. And he also he talked to Sean McDermott when the Bills drafted Josh Allen. Sean McDermott apparently called Doug Peterson and said, how should I handle this quarterback situation? And Peterson said the same thing I just said. If you do believe that Josh Allen is going to be this magical unicorn, then start him right away. Get those growing pains out of the way early because it can pay dividends down the line.
Interesting coming from Dougie P, who obviously spent a few seasons here in Kansas City before Patrick Mahomes and that season with Alex Smith, but still he was here with Andy Reid. So do you think that what happened with Patrick Mahomes sitting a year under Alex Smith, do you think that's just an anomaly? Like obviously people have tried to recreate that, but really in turn it's actually the opposite, what works more often?
No, I don't think it's an anomaly. I mean, there's been cases where we've seen young quarterbacks' confidence get completely crushed, and I guess you could make the argument, hey, if they are these guys like Patrick Mahomes, they're going to be able to overcome those obstacles, which is probably fair. But I'm sure if you ask Patrick Mahomes and all the things that he was able to learn behind an underrated veteran like Alex Smith, I'm sure it was very invaluable. So, no, I don't think it's an anomaly. I think that Patrick Mahomes was always going to be the star quarterback we've come to know and love. But I think that he surely learned a lot behind Alex Smith during his time on the bench.
Sticking in the AFC West here, you brought up the Chargers earlier, and boy, just like the Bengals, I am hot on this team. I love the Mike McDaniels addition. They're kind of a little scary. Do you think they could be the NFL's best offense?
Potentially, yeah. I don't think I'm going to stake my flag and go that far, but I absolutely love the addition of Mike McDaniel. I mean, I think he's my favorite offensive mind in the NFL, what he was able to accomplish with Miami. And a guy like Tua Tagovailoa, who I don't think is some kind of generational quarterback. I don't know if he's even a top 15 quarterback at this point. But with that timing-based offense, he was able to get a lot out of that guy and get him signed to that massive extension. So now that he has someone like Justin Herbert at his disposal, who has all the talent in the world, and sure, there's a lot of criticisms that come with him because he's unable to win the big game. He's not good in the postseason. I get that. But looking at what this team accomplished last year, I mean, the offensive line was a disaster. And I think by the point we got to the playoffs, Justin Herbert started looking like a rookie again because he was just so bewildered and getting hit at every single drop back. So now that he has more consistency, if that offensive line can remain healthy, I do feel like he has some of that weaponry around him where he can rise above and kind of start rewriting the narrative on himself. And I got to bring up this guy real quickly. I think one of the more underrated free agency signings in the entire NFL this year, and if you're a fantasy football guy, then listen up to me, Keaton Mitchell, the running back coming over from the Baltimore Ravens. I think that this speedster out of ECU is going to be someone who can really wear a nice hat in the offense of Mike McDaniel. Remember, this guy had some really good games with the Baltimore Ravens to the point where last year the Ravens were actually receiving trade interest on their backup running backs. Baltimore ended up not parting ways with him. Now that he was a free agent and able to sign somewhere else, he finds himself with Mike McDaniel. So keep an eye on that young kid.
Kind of fits the mold of the way that he utilized Devon Achane with the Miami Dolphins the last couple of years. That's kind of an interesting one. So, I mean, of course, we're here in Kansas City, so we're always curious to get people's thoughts on how they view the Kansas City Chiefs. And as you look around the NFL, Jordan, where would you say the Chiefs stack up? If you were to have to throw them into a specific ranking of the best teams in the National Football League, are they a team that is sitting in your top 5, your top 10, or are they a team that's kind of on the outside looking in?
Yeah, it's tough. I don't think I could put them in the top 5 right now. In fact, I might even take the Denver Broncos over them right now at this juncture, but I would definitely have the Chiefs somewhere in the top 10. Listen, they go 6-11 last year when we're trying to figure out if we're still in the midst of a dynasty or if that 6-11 season was just an anomaly. And you start looking into some of the numbers. They went 1-7 on the road, 5-4 at home. It was tied for the fewest road wins in the NFL, which was bizarre. They were 1-9 in one-score games after going 11-0 in one-score games in 2024. Patrick Mahomes had just one game-winning drive after having 7 game-winning drives in 2024. And listen, I think that one of the most important additions they made, which is certainly not a hot take, is the running back Kenneth Walker III. Because not only is this a home run hitter from the running back position that can bounce off defenders in the A-gap, but this is someone who is going to open up your passing game too. And I know that the Chiefs don't have the most talented wide receiving core in the NFL, but they do have a couple of guys with great potential. And if Kenneth Walker can really change the trajectory of the game when it comes to establishing the play action, that's going to pay immediate dividends for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Talking to Jordan Dajani here, NFL writer for CBS Sports. Jordan, so you mentioned top 10. Okay, so still in the mix there, probably a playoff team. When I read the national perspective on the Chiefs, something that has come up with the question marks is the offensive line. Offensive line, what are they going to do? These 5 are question marks, where I just am so confident in these 5 guys up front. What do you think about the protection here?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Patrick Mahomes definitely struggled behind the offensive line with some of the injuries they had last year. But looking just on paper with guys like Josh Simmons, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, I guess Jalen Moore is probably going to play on the right side. I would feel relatively confident in that group. But again, you're talking to a guy who's based in Nashville, Tennessee, who has been suffering behind some of the worst offensive line play we've seen over the past few years. I would love to have what the Chiefs had in terms of protection. So, yeah, I would feel pretty optimistic about the group you have in place.
And we'll see Cam Ward tonight on the quarterback. What can we expect from our guy, Cam Ward?
Yeah, I'm glad that you're asking this because, listen, the Titans are some small market team. No one cares about them. Cam Ward was the number 1 overall pick, but he was never viewed as this generational prospect like Caleb Williams, for example. What Cam Ward has that I think is elite is his work ethic. And I've only watched the first episode of Quarterback so far, but when you watch this series, I imagine you're going to come away saying, wow, that Cam Ward kid has really got that it factor. He works harder than the average quarterback in today's NFL. So it's a question, does he have the talent necessary and that kind of elite ceiling to be a top 10 quarterback? That's the kind of the stuff we're debating right now. But what we love about this kid is his work ethic because he's a winner. He wants to win. He's going to outwork you. And I think that's going to come across in the quarterback series.
As we're sitting here talking about the Tennessee Titans and Cam Ward, we mentioned earlier you had this list of coaches that are potentially on the hot seat for 2026. Titans, not necessarily one that belongs in that conversation, with Robert Saleh being brought in to be their new head coach. What do you make of that hire? What do you feel like he can do, what he can provide this Titans organization that's maybe been missing the last few years, say since the exit of Mike Vrabel?
Yeah, Robert Saleh is definitely on that kind of Mike Vrabel level when it comes to your quote-unquote leader of men, if you will. What you will say about Robert Saleh is that he is objectively one of the best defensive minds in the NFL. That definitely came across with the 49ers multiple years, especially last year when that San Francisco defense suffered major injuries at all three levels, and Robert Saleh was able to get the most out of some young players and help this team get to the playoffs. What really was Robert Saleh's undoing during his short tenure in New York was his hires on the offensive staff, because he's hiring someone to take over and run the offensive side of things, obviously be the play caller, and that did not go well with a quarterback like Zach Wilson. What Robert Saleh has now is stability on that side of the ball because he brought in a guy by the name of Brian Daboll, the former head coach of the New York Giants, who's been a really good offensive coordinator at several spots, including the Buffalo Bills. So having a guy who was just a head coach to be the quote-unquote head coach of the offensive side of the ball, I think is going to be great for the Tennessee Titans.
Jordan, before we get you out of here, I need a couple bold predictions. Give me your MVP and give me your way too early Super Bowl.
Okay, MVP, let's go with Joe Burrow since, of course, I'm on the Bengals train.
Yep.
In terms of Super Bowl matchup, listen, I am never in line with the favorites in Vegas for, like, Super Bowl favorites, right? You know, it's usually the team that was in the Super Bowl last year or won the Super Bowl last year. I never agree with those lines. But this year, I do, okay? Obviously, I have the Los Angeles Rams coming out of the NFC side of things. And since I'm in Kansas City and I feel like getting people upset, I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos coming out of the NFC side of things.
Oh, Jordan, come on, man. I bring you on the station.
Hey, listen, this Broncos team would have made the Super Bowl last year if Bo Nix remains healthy, okay? That's an objective fact. And they got a top three defense. There's no doubt about that. I think Bo Nix is one of the more underrated quarterbacks in the NFL. You get Jalen Waddle now in the fold, too. Hopefully a better running game. The Broncos are a team not to be messed with, let me tell you.
No, that's fair. Listen, on paper, they are just so damn good, especially in the trenches on both sides, offensive and defensive line. They can really, really protect and attack. Jordan, thank you so much for coming on, brother. It was good talking to you, man. Go Vols.
Absolutely, guys. Go Vols. Thanks so much.
All right, man. I'll see you later. That's my guy, Jordan Dajani, NFL writer for CBS Sports. Again, football coverage on 96.5 The Fan is presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi, one price, 5 years, guaranteed. Xfinity. Imagine that.
I get why Jordan and you are boys now.
Yeah, you got it at the end there.
Yeah. As soon as I heard "Go Vols," in the back of my brain, I just expected to hear Rocky Top at a low volume begin to rise.
I mean, I told Nathan to do it. He didn't get the memo, I guess.
I've done that before when Mac Morey's been hosting. No, look, I lost it at the end. Logan, I'm like, he's picking the Broncos to win to go to the Super Bowl. And then Mac's like, that's my guy, all proudly. What are we doing here?
Unbelievable, man.
I know. I didn't like that from Jordan. I did not like the Broncos love. But, I mean, objectively, they're a good team. We know this. They're a good football team.
I agree. The Broncos, the defense is ridiculous. Yeah, the addition of Jaden Waddle is fascinating. The running game's got to be better. The only thing I really
offensive line's great.
Yeah, the only thing I really disagreed with Jordan's take there was saying that he believes Bo Nix is an underrated quarterback. in the National Football League.
I wish we would have asked him.
I think he's borderline overrated.
Yeah, I think he is overrated.
I'm sorry. I don't buy that one.
No, I think he is overrated. I actually would have liked to talk to him more about that. I think he came in underrated. He came in and he was underrated, and he showed us who he was. And now, since then, again, the pendulum swung too far. Most of that offense is, dink and dunk. The yards per attempt are not there. It's either he is pushing the ball down the field on go routes or he is throwing screen passes. It's not intermediate. He's not throwing crossing routes. The middle of the field, he's not able to work very well in. I don't think Bo Nix is this, like, could he be on a team that goes and wins the Super Bowl? Yes, we just saw Sam Darnold. I would put him in the same tier as Sam Darnold.
Yeah, to me, like, Bo Nix, the first 2 years of his career is like a great value version of the last 5 years of Drew Brees. Like, dink and dunk, West Coast style, 3 to 5 air yards, and hope that a big time, a physical specimen like Courtland Sutton can turn it into something, like an Evan Ingram can turn it into something. That's what I get from Bo Nix.
All right, in the least sour grapes way possible, because teams, genuinely, because teams did this to the Chiefs. Like, they tried to discount every single win that the Chiefs had. They got lucky, the refs, whatever it is. And after enough wins, it's like, okay, they clearly have something there. So, like, if the Broncos go to the AFC Championship game again this year, I can't sit here and say, well, they got lucky. However, basing your performance in last year's AFC Like using that as reason for, hey, they're on the upward swing. I just don't buy that whatsoever. Does anyone think the Patriots are going back to the Super Bowl? Because I don't.
No.
Or the Broncos are going back to the AFC title game? I don't. No Burrow, no Mahomes, no Lamar. Herbert can't figure out how to win a playoff game. And Josh Allen, again, not trying to have sour grapes here, could not have done more to give the Broncos a free win in the playoffs. Like literally 5 turnovers in the game. Could not have done more. So like I just need to pump the brakes on like the Super Bowl conversation for the Broncos. Bo Nix, he's a fine quarterback.
He's fine.
Sam Darnold tier, absolutely. You
Sam
can,
Darnold
you can
tier.
win with those guys. But they are not some like favorite. That was like the 8th team I expected him to say. I was very caught off guard by that prediction.
Yeah,
but I guess it's not going to be just him.
It isn't. There's going to be multiple people at AFC Championship game. Multiple people are going to go, well, if Bo Nix stayed healthy. And to your point, Nathan, I think that'll be the main counter. Well, there was no Josh Allen. There was no Joe Burrow. There was no Patrick Mahomes. And the big thing that we heard from the Broncos fan base mainly 2 seasons ago was, well, one possession wins. That's not going to happen. And they ended up being correct. It didn't happen the next season. 11 one-possession wins for the Denver Broncos last season. 11 one-possession wins. So I'd like to see them repeat that. So we'll be looking a lot at the Denver Broncos, obviously, the Denver Donkeys, I should say. That was our guy, or my guy, I guess. Sorry, guys. Jordan DeJohnny from CBS Sports, NFL writer. Again, stay locked in. We're going to start it, bench it, and cut it next.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty, analytically the best morning radio show in Kansas City, as voted by people.
There's a lot of people talking out of their butt.
Fescoe and Dusty is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
I'll tell you what, our family loves the Hy-Vee Market Grill, especially on the weekends. We love getting up and going for breakfast, getting eggs, getting hash browns, and filling our bellies right from the start of the morning every single weekend. But the Hy-Vee Market Grill has so much because it's the best dining value in town. Check out the daily meal deals from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Sunday. That's every day of the week. My absolute favorite is Steak Thursday with a perfectly seasoned steak, baked potato, and sweet corn for only $12. Dine in or carry out, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You're going to love the Hy-Vee Market Grill as much as I do, only at Hy-Vee.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where supplies start at just 25 cents?
Staples has the latest laptops with up to 40% savings.
I may hug the cashier.
So embarrassing.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples with up to 40% off select tech. Staples.
That was easy.
Visit Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
Hey, the summer gets super hot, so now you need to get a Super Light. That's right. The team that brought you Surfside is back with something new. Meet Super Light, the new vodka plus aid canned cocktail. Super Light comes in 4 classic sports drinks flavors: fruit punch, orange, lemon lime, and blue chill. And ooh, that blue chill is money, baby. With just 90 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 bubbles, Super Light delivers a refreshing taste that's perfect for any occasion. From the golf course to the bar, at night, at the concert, a day at the ballpark, Super Light is here for the moment. Look for Super Light variety packs and individual flavors at stores and bars near you. You must be 21 and older. Please drink responsibly.
Lawman, Jungle Law.
It's a Lawman, 3-time DUI award-winning attorney in Kansas City. You wanted results? Here you go. First-degree murder charge, dismissed. Felony DUI, dismissed. Felony to misdemeanor, multiple. Felony jury trial, not guilty. Call the Lawman, 816-816-9111. Take it away.
The Lawman gets results. Jungle Law, call the Lawman. Let the fight begin.
Voted by Pitch and Casey Magazine, the choice of a lawyer shouldn't be based on advertisements.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
The corrupt political establishment. If you're ready to give them the finger, Taylor Burks is your man for Congress. Taylor Burks, America First conservative, outsider, 3 combat deployments as a naval commander. Taylor Burks will stand with President Trump against rhinos and the corrupt establishment. In Congress, Burks will always put America first. He'll work with Trump to deport every last illegal, ban communist China from owning 1 inch of our land, and protect our elections by passing the SAVE Act once and for all. So if you want to tell off the political establishment, conservative warrior Taylor Burks, an America First patriot for Congress. Paid for by Show Me Valor PAC. www.showmevalorpac.org. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Show Me Valor PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
This is the story of the one. The one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Royals coverage sponsored by the Show Me Shootout Truck and Tractor Pull on July 18th. The Outlaws are coming. Don't miss the Show Me Shootout Truck and Tractor Pull. Saturday, July 18th at the Johnson County Fairgrounds. Big power, flying dirt, non-stop action. Just $25 at the gate. Search Show Me Shootout Warrensburg, Missouri on Facebook for details.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Kansas side 70 westbound before 18th Street Expressway accident. 2 left lanes blocked. Delays back to South 7th Street. 670 ramp much heavier. Delays back to the bridge. About a mile of heavy stuff to get through there. 435 southbound. Slow from Holiday Drive down past Shawnee Mission Parkway with roadwork at Midland. The left lane is blocked. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Here's Fescoe, Dusty, and Mac with this week's edition of Start, Bench, Cut.
That's right, 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. It's Nathan, Logan, and Mac getting ready for Start, Bench, Cut, brought to you by Jay's Southland Tow. Get in the know with Jay's Southland Tow. As you guys may know, I am a Summer League nerd. I love the Summer League. It's fun. Bob's a huge spring training guy. He gets into all the spring training games. I'm kind of that way a little bit less, but a little bit that way with Summer League.
Okay.
So we'll just do the top guys. Start, Bench, Cut. Darren Peterson, AJ DeBenza, Cam Boozer.
Start, and KU fans aren't going to appreciate this, especially after the comments that he made last week. I'm going to start Darren Peterson. I think that he has the look of a college player that underwhelmed, who is going to be unbelievable.
Good, we're on the same page.
In the NBA. I mean, his shot creating ability, off the bounce, his ability, I mean, it's just extraordinary. I mean, he hit a couple of shots. I watched that whole game, the matchup against AJ DeBenza, number 1 versus number 2, and he hit a couple of, he hit like a step back fadeaway 26-footer going to his right in that game that I'm like, oh, that's an NBA move. And some of those things just didn't quite work out at the college level at the University of Kansas, but I would start Darren. I would bench AJ DeBenza, and I would cut Cam Boozer. Now, I will start out by saying that I believe Cam Boozer is going to win Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
By default, because that Memphis Grizzlies team is horrid.
Yeah.
He's going to have to play 35 minutes a night and finish with 22 and 12 for them to not lose 65 games. Like, they're going to be so bad that he's going to have to get the bulk of the work. Darren Peterson and AJ DeBenza are going to situations where that's not the case. DeBenza's going to Washington with Trae Young and Alex Sarr and Anthony Davis for 35 games before his knees inevitably give out.
Or traded.
And Darren Peterson's going to Utah with Keontae George and Ace Bailey and Lauri Markkanen. There are other weapons. There are other pieces.
Jaren Jackson, yeah.
That they're not just being given the keys to immediately the way that Boozer is. So I would cut Boozer because I think he has the lowest ceiling of any of these three guys. But I do also simultaneously believe he's going to win Rookie of the Year because he is on the worst team and is needed the most.
Yeah, I guess just off of their summer league performance alone, I would slightly differ from that. I would still start Darren Peterson. The guy looks like a walking bucket. I mean, it looks like what we thought he could be. I'd bench Cam Boozer. He looks like just game manager is not the right word, but just efficient,
I like
checks all
that.
the boxes sort of guy. Like, no hate when I say game manager,
No,
just a complete player.
Yes, I get that. I think that's a great way to describe it.
And then Debanza, yeah, maybe his ceiling is higher. I haven't seen play that differentiates him from the other two yet this far in the summer league. Although he's been fine, I would cut him at this point.
Yeah, I'm definitely, you guys know me. I'm starting Darren Peterson. I am all in on him. I think he's going to be the best scorer this league's seen since Kevin Durant. I think he is just next level. I think he is next level. He's the future. I've got him rookie of the year because their team's going to be in the playoffs. And he's going to be the best player on a playoff team as a rookie. So that's why I'd have him winning rookie of the year. I'll bench Cam Boozer for similar reasons. Nathan, it's more of just a floor versus ceiling conversation. What Cam Boozer does and what I've seen him do in Summer League, rather, seems more translatable against any competition, whereas AJ Debanza, sometimes I watch him and I still think, okay, are you just doing this against lesser players, lesser competition? What can you actually do? Once he gets that three-point shot and that turnaround fader from the midi, I think he'll be really, really good, but I'll still cut AJ Debanza. Similar here, instead of Cam Boozer, we got Caleb Williams, Darren Peterson, AJ Debanza, or Caleb Wilson, sorry, those three.
All right, this is going to change my perspective here.
Oh.
Maybe even considerably.
Wow.
I loved Caleb Wilson coming out of North Carolina. And that was before I knew the man had a jump shot.
He made like 7 threes his first Summer League
I'm
game.
starting Caleb Wilson in this trio. In this scenario, I'm starting Caleb Wilson. Somebody in the text line said Caleb Wilson, Rookie of the Year. I'm not quite to that extent yet because, like I said, I think that there are more pieces in Chicago that he's not going to be relied upon as heavily as maybe a Cam Boozer. But that man was unreal during the Summer League. He made like 6 threes the entire year at North Carolina last year. He made 7 in one game alone. He shot like 51% from 3 in the Summer League and averaged, 27 points a game, like 11 rebounds. In his Summer League games, 27 points, 6.5 boards, 4 blocks, and 2 steals per game. I saw comparisons to Blake Griffin going into the draft, and I kind of found that those were a little bit unfounded. I don't think he's quite that athletic, but he's got crazy bounce. He's super long.
That dunk last night was lit.
Yeah. And if he can shoot it, look out. I would start Caleb Wilson in that scenario just based off what I saw from the Summer League. I'm going to bench Darren Peterson, and that means I'm cutting AJ Debanza in that scenario.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm with you here. Like based on NBA like longevity, I probably would still go with Darren Peterson. Based on what I've seen this far since the draft, I would start Wilson over I think anybody. So then I'd bench Peterson and
cut
Debanza, which seems harsh, but yeah.
No, I get it. Yeah, cutting Debanza like Debanza's. Yeah, it's not cut worthy, but I get it. Yeah, he's a stud. I'm still starting Darren Peterson. I still think he is just everything in a bag of chips. I love it. Caleb Wilson, it feels like the ceiling is through the roof. Or if you want to quote Michael Jordan, North Carolina, the ceiling is the roof for Caleb Wilson. But I don't know. I just don't think he's going to be the scorer that Darren Peterson is. I don't think he's going to be able to run an offense like Darren Peterson. And frankly, defensively, Darren Peterson's really, really good too. So I'm just going to start Darren Peterson. I'll bench Caleb Wilson, and I will cut AJ Debanza. We had a text. DP and Boozer already played, went to head-to-head. Boozer was trash. 18.7 rebounds, 4 or 5 from 3 in that game, and I watched it as well. Start, bench, cut, NBA, NFL, MLB. Again, we're in Start, Bench, Cut, brought to you by J. Southland Tow. Be a part of it. Give us something to start, bench, and cut on the J. Southland Tow Service text line, 913-586-7965. Start, bench, cut, NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball.
All right, I'm going to start the NFL.
Fair.
Layup, sort of an answer. I'm going to bench the NBA.
Ooh, I didn't know where you were going to go with this because you're a major baseball guy.
But I'm a bigger basketball guy. Basketball is my favorite sport. Like, if there was an NBA team in Kansas City, those two would have been flip-flopped to begin with, and I would have started the NBA. But with no local ties, it's hard. I'm a Boston Celtics fan who grew up in Kansas City.
Same.
Like, it makes no sense. But that's kind of how it is here. Like, if you're an NBA fan, you have to be a fan of some team that is not really within, like, a 4-hour radius of you. Like, what's the closest NBA team to here? Oklahoma City? Chicago?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a 6-hour drive. So that's the only reason why the NBA would be behind the NFL for me, is that there is no local team for me to latch onto and root for and go to games. And then Major League Baseball would be my bench or my cut. I like baseball. I'm not the biggest baseball fan in the world. It's just not a sport that it's third on my list of loves of sports behind basketball and football to begin with. So inherently, it falls third in terms of the professional league as well. Plus, I think Rob Manfred is a complete and utter joke, and he's the worst commissioner among the three in these professional sports.
Oh, wow. We got to get into that.
I was going to say we should get into that maybe this week. That's a fun topic.
Sports that
Adam Silverwood.
My fandom, I would start baseball, bench football, cut the NBA. If we're talking about viewership experience, though, the NBA might make the bench there and the NFL would be cut. I think, and I know Bob talks about this. I'm not the first one to say this, but I think the viewership experience with the NFL, I think they are a little too comfortable with hey, a lot of people like the sport. They get a lot of money. But I find myself bored pretty frequently while watching the NFL.
Agreed. And you look at it, there's 9 minutes of action in a 3.5-hour game. Right. They're playing on Tuesdays. They're playing on Sunday. They're taking away your Sunday noon games. Yeah, they're getting cocky, and it's ruining some of the viewing experience. I'm still going to start them because of my fandom. I'll bench the NBA in similar reasons, Logan, and I will cut Major League Baseball. But yeah, same thing. Celtics fan in Kansas City. We were talking quarterbacks. We were talking rankings. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. Start, bench, cut.
Start Burrow. I know, hot take. He's not an MVP the way Josh Allen is. I'm just not a Josh Allen person. I'm just not. He turns the ball over far too often for my liking. He's the healthiest of these three guys. He's the most available, so give him that level of credit. But when the lights are the brightest and the moment's the biggest, he's faltered. Now, some of that's because he's having to go head-to-head with Mahomes, so maybe it's less him faltering and more Mahomes rising to the occasion. But he hasn't proved that he can win big games. Burrow's done that. Burrow, when he's healthy, in my view, is the second best quarterback in football behind Patrick Mahomes. So I'm starting Joe Burrow. I'm benching Josh Allen because while he hasn't won big games, as many big games, at least he has won some. And that way, with that in mind, I'm benching Josh Allen, or Lamar Jackson, because that man looks like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde when it comes time for the playoffs. Like, he is extraordinary in the regular season, and then all of a sudden turns into a pumpkin when it comes postseason time.
Yeah, it's so interesting. They all have these big question marks, whether it's playoffs or health. So it's not like you could say, the best ability is availability, because Lamar and Joe Burrow both have those concerns. Lamar has both. He stinks in the playoffs and he gets hurt a lot. So I've got to cut him. I'm still going to start start Josh Allen and bench Joe Burrow, though. Josh Allen, I'm not making excuses. I do love to hate on him as much as the next guy. I see him as faltering in the playoffs once, him personally. Does he have that winning gene? No, I'm not going that far. He's been a good playoff quarterback with the exception of this past postseason. He's just bumped into Mahomes.
Yeah, I agree. And I'll even edit that and say he's been great in the postseason other than last season. He's been great. Last one, I'll just do it real quick because we got to get out of here. Start bench come from the 573 Traffic Driver Edition. People who don't know how to merge on the highway, people who drive the exact same speed limit in the left lane, people who tailgate. I am starting people who drive the exact same speed limit. I'll go past you. I'm benching merging onto the highway, and I'm cutting tailgater. I'm cutting that person because that will make me road rage. Do not tailgate me. We got Kyle Ravage coming up, Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN's own. He was calling the Home Run Derby last night on ESPN Radio. He'll do the same for the All-Star Game tonight on ESPN Radio. We'll talk to him next about the Derby and the MLB Draft. Stay locked in. 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Royals.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Carter Jensen, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty, weekday mornings starting at 6, right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Joint pain's awful when you're the person fighting through it, but I'm betting you aren't the only one affected by it. Maybe you love someone who struggles with joint pain, and you see it. You see what they don't say. You see what they've slowly stopped doing. It's July, and the days are long, and the light hangs around, and you want to be outside moving, playing, and living. But instead, you're sitting it out. Let's get your life back at QC Kinetics. That's what they do every single day. People who are stuck in that cycle of pain in their hips, knees, shoulders, and backs are finally stepping out of it with QC Kinetics. They offer regenerative treatments done right in the office. No surgery, no long recovery, and no putting your life on hold. Just real relief. So it's time for you to go see my friends over at QC Kinetics and get that free consultation. Call them at 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Located off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, 816-412-6299.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hey, this is Lauren. And a little thing I love about the hash brown scrambled burrito is that it's going to add the protein that you need. The eggs with those crispy nuggets. It's the ultimate combo.
Hi, this is Maya, and a little thing I love about the hash brown scrambled burrito is that it's packed with protein. Having Chick-fil-A chicken in a breakfast burrito is just phenomenal to me. You have the chicken, you have the eggs, and then you add these hash browns. It's just complete, honestly.
Order the Chick-fil-A hash brown scrambled burrito and Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
The world's best soccer teams know success starts with a strong game plan. AAA believes your insurance should work the same way. Visit AAA.com and you can save up to 21% by switching to AAA Auto Insurance. You can save even more if you bundle 2 or more policies, like auto and home, to unlock additional multi-policy savings while keeping all of your coverage on one team. Head to AAA.com to simplify your insurance, save money, and protect what matters most. One game plan, one team, AAA Insurance.
It's Telly Tire and Auto Center summer sale. Buy 4 new Continental tires and save up to $350 with instant mail-in rebates when you add installation, road hazard protection, and wheel alignment. Hurry, offer ends July 31st. Take it to Telly. Details at tellytire.com.
I love days like these at the pool, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. I'm ready to make a splash with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza. Skyrizi is a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. At 4 months, most people saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe, and many were even 100% plaque-free. People also saw significant improvement in psoriasis symptoms of pain, redness, itching, and burning.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Now there's nothing on my skin thanks to Skyrizi, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This summer, your passport isn't required. Welcome to Summer in Tokyo at P.F. Chang's. Inspired by the color and energy of Tokyo's vibrant sushi scene, these limited-time creations bring bold flavors in every bite. Discover new sushi rolls, steak tataki, and lobster and prawn fried rice inspired by one of the world's most exciting food destinations. Cruise through Tokyo, one roll at a time aboard our sushi boat with wave after sushi wave of unforgettable taste. Summer in Tokyo at P.F. Chang's. Your journey to Tokyo starts here.
Car wreck? Get the money you deserve. Mike's got this.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. Choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
After my car wreck, there was a lot I didn't know.
I do know. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this. Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Kansas side 70 westbound before 18th Street Expressway with an accident blocking 2 left lanes. Delays on 670 ramp about a mile. Heading 35 northbound with an accident at the merge with 69 highway. Delays building from 87th Street. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch all your favorite shows, shorts, and clips. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. KFNZ FM and AM. HD1 and HD2 Kansas City. An Odyssey sports station. This is Fescoe and Dusty.
I got Mahomes' balls in my hands.
On your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Oh, yeah, football.
From potholes to pop-ups, we got it covered.
Hey!
Here's Bob Fescoe.
Take a bite out of my ass.
And Dusty Likens.
Big nuts.
Oh, yeah. We're getting going here. 9 a.m., 96.5 The Fan. Your home for Kansas City sports. Nathan Williams, Logan Weber, Mac Morey with you for another hour. And we are now joined by baseball, MLB, ESPN broadcasting legend, Carl Ravitch. Carl, thank you so much for joining us this morning, man.
Yeah, good to be on with you guys. How are you?
Doing great. Appreciate you joining us. I know you were at the Home Run Derby calling on ESPN Radio last night. What did you think about the new Home Run Derby rules?
Better than I thought it was going to flow. That was my biggest concern. I thought a lot of guys would just take a lot of pitches. And in fact, it kind of turned when Tags got up there and raced through his round. The first 2 guys took about 7 minutes. He was around 4. So that kind of got the ball rolling for the entire event. Unfortunately, he didn't hit enough to keep himself in it. But I was pleased with it. I thought it went better than I thought because I do kind of think that going into it, we would have been better served with maybe 15 swings, but if not 20 swings in a 5-minute window. I thought you were going to need a clock to keep the thing rolling. It was, at least for one night, proven that wasn't the case, and it turned out great. And look, we're all sort of victims of whatever the circumstance may be. The thing ended on such a high that the last feeling we have about the Derby is going to be a good one because it was an incredible end.
Yeah, and talk to us a little bit about the atmosphere there at Citizens Bank Park after Schwarber puts up an incredible showing in the final. The crowd is loud. Yeah. The Boo Birds are out for Jordan Walker, and he puts together an incredible display, homers on his last 6 swings to take this thing. What was that moment like, or the moments leading up to him inevitably overtaking Schwarber and winning it?
Yeah, so it's the reverse lock in sports. I mean, Schwarber hits 11 homers in 15 swings, and you figure, all right, well, this is over. He's going to win. The stage is his. We're at his ballpark. He is a legend in Philadelphia. He's universally loved as a baseball player, as an athlete, as a teammate. We've seen him, criticize umpires and do it for both teams in the same game, where he would point to one dugout and say, "You're getting screwed." And then he'd look at his own dugout and say, "We're getting screwed." He was rooting for Walker at the very end. Honest to God, he was in the moment. As much as he wanted to win it, he recognized, what Walker was possibly capable of doing. I don't think any of us, certainly not me, saw somebody hit 4 consecutive magenta balls out. When that thing got thrown, it felt like it was an invisible. Guys didn't do well with it. Nobody hit more than a homer with that magenta ball. He hit 4 in a row. He homered on his last 6 swings. Nobody saw that coming. As he said after, I was raised not to ever boo anybody, and whether it was Wilson Contreras or Tags or anyone else not wearing a Phillies uniform, they got crushed, and Walker, he kind of just brushed it off like a bad mosquito. It was really impressive. I certainly didn't think where he was needing to hit, 4 with that magenta ball, he had a chance to do it. It was really impressive to see, and good for the kid. Really good.
Yeah, I mean, he was calm as a cucumber, did not feel the pressure at
Yeah,
all.
he was.
It was crazy to watch, whereas maybe conversely, younger guy, Jack Caglione, Kansas City Royal, maybe felt it a little bit in that first round, was swinging maybe a little bit too much, still got to showcase his power, hit 4 bombs in a row. What do you see from him?
Well, I've seen him, through his collegiate ranks at Florida, doing a lot of their SEC baseball games. I took a ride in his shoe once on the river because it's so big. He was impressive. His dad was great. He kind of accelerated the pace after Contreras and Walker each hit 13 to start round one, and again took about 7 minutes to do it. He got up there wailing away. Schwarber did too in his first round. But the idea that Pags hit one to the upper deck in right field, which is only I believe the second guy to ever do that, and the first was Ryan Howard, of course, with the Phillies. It shows what he's capable of. But his season is kind of is a microcosm of what the Royals have been doing this year, or should I say, not doing. There is greatness in there. It shows itself not nearly enough, and you hope as he matures, there'll be more consistently good play out of him. He's a terrific kid, power forever, an absolute beast. And look, the Derby is about two things. It's about winning it, and then it's about watching the balls fly as far as they can. And seeing one go up where he hit it is awfully impressive.
Yeah, you mentioned what the Royals are maybe not doing right now. I think the obvious answer is winning baseball games. They just got swept by the O's before the break. They're 21 games under 500. We're here in Kansas City, so we have our local synopsis of what's going on right now. But from a national perspective, what is your makeup of the way that this Royals season has gone? Very disappointing no matter how you slice it. Why do you think it is?
Well, I think it's inconsistency, and I think the real frustrating part is in a year in which I think last check there were 7 teams that are within 3.5 games of the wild card. Basically, everybody is in the American League race, if you will, if you consider kind of that as your floor on how far you need to be within to consider yourselves buyers, and to be one of the very few teams on the outside looking in sucks. I mean, it really does. It's still July and we're out of it. And that's no fun for a team that's got Bobby Witt Jr. on it, for a team that has Jack Caglione in the middle, for all that Vinny Pasquantino has shown in the past. It's very frustrating. They don't hit enough home runs. Their pitching's been inconsistent. They've dealt with some injuries, but for the most part, underperformances. They walk. They don't strike out a ton, but they don't have a lot of slug. And in this day and age, you need that. And as I say that, I qualify it with the Red Sox, who have just won 9 in a row, all on the road, have the fewest home runs in Major League Baseball. And they are right there in the American League wildcard race. So in a year in which there's a lot of mediocrity, to be the team that is below mediocre, that's no fun. And that's what the Royals have done so far this year.
Especially on a season that just had expectations, real
no
expectations.
Doubt.
What's the biggest reason for it? I mean, is it manager Q? Is it the front office? Is it both? Do you have a reason?
Well, no, I don't think there's ever really. I mean, unless your staff ERA is 6, you can easily point to one thing. Look, baseball's is the true team game, meaning everybody's got to contribute, but they have to contribute in every way. And like I said, I mean, that last Orioles game, there was a ball that was lost in the sun, and that kind of turned that game around. Runners left on base, the ability to hit the ball over the wall, the ability to pile up big strikeouts, to stop rallies, to put up a 0 after a team. After your team scores a run, I think it's death by 1,000 cuts. I don't think there's one glaring aspect, especially when you look at the rest of the division. I mean, the White Sox are human. The Guardians never hit for power, and there they are again. But it's not like they're 30 games over 500. There's no Dodgers team in the American League Central, but there are the Royals, and I was one of those who was on the Royals bandwagon. I thought they, had equipped themselves enough going into this season that they were going to be fine. They were really good, and that clearly, hasn't proven. But I don't think there's one thing. I rarely think, having covered the sport for 33 years, that you look at some team and say, God, if only they could. If only their bullpen was better, they'd be great. Like, that's not how it works. I don't think that's how it works.
What's the overall consensus on this draft? I mean, we talk about the NFL draft. It's a much different coverage, right? MLB versus NFL draft. I mean, the consensus on 2026 NFL was like, no quarterbacks, kind of underrated. You know, what's the consensus on the Major League Baseball draft that just occurred?
Well, to me, the consensus on the draft is just sort of overarching view of the draft. Players get selected and they get to the big leagues much quicker than we've ever seen before. I mean, the class of 24, which is just 2 years ago, has got 4 All-Stars. They're going to have about 7 or 8 by the time we get to the All-Star game next year. I looked at the draft this year, and Chalowski has always been kind of an interesting guy for me because we saw the Bruins show up in Omaha last year, not this year, and they did nothing when they were there. He wasn't great, but he seems to be the player that if you see him every day and know him and know his game, the idea that he was all year projected to be the number 1 pick and then ends up being the number 1 pick and signs for over $10 million, you expect him to go and do Troy Tulowitzki stuff at the next level. I'd like to reserve judgment and wait and see on that. High schoolers are always interesting for me, but Von Lackey, the kid that the Twins took, the catcher out of Georgia Tech, could have easily been number 1. He's outstanding. When Curiel went at 5 out of LSU to the Pirates, I was a little surprised. That feels like they kind of went under their slot just to get him, and he was ready to go there. I've seen the college game a lot this year. There are a lot of really good players. I would look at this particular draft and think maybe relative to 24, and 24 may be one of the great drafts, that we look back on as average. I don't think there's anything great about it. It's interesting in your division. I think Flukie, who the Tigers got at 22, is tremendous. I think he's going to be a front-end starter. Came out of Coastal Carolina, was hurt this year. So we'll see. But it wasn't, to me, one of those drafts we're going to look back on and be like, whoa, that's the 24 class again.
And there's many that say that the Royals had maybe the first real shocker selection of the first round when they took Zion Rose 6th overall out of Louisville. What can you tell us about him? Should Royals fans maybe be slightly upset with this selection? Was this just based on the slot and the amount of money that they'll be paying him? Or can we look at Zion Rose as another potential linchpin cornerstone part of this young core for the Royals in the future?
Yeah. Before we get there, I think their 30th pick of Rabe out of Ole Miss is phenomenal. I think he's another guy that you guys are going to benefit from at the big league level fairly quickly. He's got power stuff. He's come real quick. He's a big dude. So I'm all in on Rabe. I know that having seen Rose play, he's got all the tools you want. When you speak to his coach, at Louisville, Dan McDonnell would rave about him. He doesn't blow you away with his size, 6'1", but the athletic ability of Zion Rose, I think, is what you're hoping turns into something phenomenal. He's a really, really good hitter. I think the injury, I think it was an ankle injury or an ankle injury, slowed him down. And he's a very good major league player if he stays healthy. And he's a really, really good hitter. So do I love the pick? No. Can the player be very good? Yes. But I love your pick. When you combine Rose and Rabe, I like them. I do like them both. And I love Rabe at 30.
That's ESPN's own Carl Ravitch. You can hear him tonight on ESPN Radio calling the All-Star game. Carl, thanks so much for joining us and giving us the time.
Anytime, fellas. Good luck the rest of the way. Let's go. Let's turn things around there.
Thank you.
We'd love to see it.
Yes, we appreciate it. That is the hope. That is Carl Ravitch. You can Watch him on Sunday Night Baseball. Again, you can hear him tonight calling the game. It was really fun talking to him. When we get back, we'll talk more Royals and Chiefs, including what's your biggest question you want an answer to in training camp for the Kansas City Chiefs. Coming up next, your home for the Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty, brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Tune in to hear Royals insider Josh Vernier every Monday at 8:20
Professor Vernier sitting up here, bloviating.
on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you hear the news lately, the population of ticks is at an all-time high. We're looking at mosquito bites going out there, getting everybody. But if you call my friends over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control, you won't have to worry about that this summer because you have the mosquito dome over your yard like we do. And we think it is so important to make sure that all of those bugs are taken care of this spring, this summertime when we're sitting outside. Nobody wants the mosquito bites, and you also want to keep your dog free of all those ticks and fleas. The mosquito dome from Aspen Lawn and Pest Control can do just that. And then you can sit outside and enjoy your beautiful yard that Aspen created especially for you, just like they did for us. They took our awful yard and turned it into the best looking lawn on the block. We absolutely love a relationship with Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. And they have college educated professionals that know how to grow the best lawns in Kansas City. Right now, they're going to give you a free estimate and up to half off your first application when you mention this ad. So visit them now at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons. And lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen. And oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live. And you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends over at Jay's Southland Tow helped us out a couple of weeks ago when my daughter got into her car accident, and it was the first phone call that we made. I said, I'm going to get on the line, and I'm going to call Jay's Southland Tow. And in 15 minutes, they were there to help us. In fact, one of their safety advisors arrived first and helped my daughter, comforted her, took her through the whole situation, and told her it was going to be okay. Then the tow truck arrived. They got the car out of there, right to the mechanic for us. Jay's Southland Tow is awesome. Then when we needed a car, we talked to Jay's Southland Tow. What do you got out there? Jay's Southland Tow is constantly helping people all over Kansas City. And it doesn't matter where you are, north, south, east, or west, Jay's Southland Tow Service is just a phone call away. And they're great for bringing your boat or your camper down to the lake or the campsite or wherever you need it. So what I want you to do is put this number in your phone. So when you have car trouble, you call Jay's Southland Tow. 816-779-4TOW or at southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments and Tammy from the West, and it's Jay's Southland Tow. There's nothing they can't do, so be in the know and use Jay's Southland Tow.
Conservative, family man, author of The Bald Plan to Reduce Property Taxes. Listen to Scott Schwab.
Property taxes are killing Kansans, but one day it hit me. Bald.
BALD stands for Better Affordable Living by Decreasing Property Taxes. And it's the only detailed plan. Schwab's BALD plan means voter approval for property tax hikes, refunds for unfair assessments, and tax relief for seniors and working families. Listen to Scott Schwab.
I'm focused on reducing taxes for Kansans. You should keep more. My BALD plan makes sure of it. When I'm governor, we'll get it done.
Finally, a governor with a good head on his shoulders. Author of the BALD Plan to Decrease Property Taxes. Conservative Republican Scott Schwab for governor. Visit scottschwab.com/bald to learn more. Paid for by Schwab for Governor, Jim Felter, Treasurer.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. Community Blood Center has declared a blood emergency as our community faces a critically low blood supply. The Chiefs, KC Current, Sporting KC, and the Royals are partnering to urge KC fans to donate blood. And thanks, donate now through July 19th to receive a We Bleed KC Stadium bag. While supplies last, let's get out and save some lives. Walk-in donations are available at any of our centers, or schedule an appointment online at savealifenow.org.
Weather brought to you by Duke's Mayo. Welcome to Duke's Mayo Country, where the mayo is so smooth and creamy, it makes every bite better. Duke's Mayo. Look for the yellow lid.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Back in the break here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. Said it correctly that time. We got soccer today, World Cup, semifinals, Spain, France, Mbappe, what's his name, Molina? Yadier Molina, I think is his name, the 18-year-old. Is that, am I saying it wrong?
Yeah, I might be, but you said Yadier Molina. I was like, if he shares the same name as the Cardinals' all-time great catcher, that'd be crazy.
Lamine Yamal, that's it. That's so funny. Hey, that's actually hilarious that's what came into my mind because I haven't thought of that name in forever. So that's just funny. That's what the human brain does. You're just combining a couple letters that sound oddly similar, and there you go. I got it.
Just an all-time great catcher sandwiched into an incredible era of all-time.
And now he plays for Spain.
Like it's so and now he's 40 years old.
Lamine Yamal.
He's retired. He owns a baseball team in Puerto Rico, and he's competing in the World Cup.
Switch nationality somehow.
Yeah,
it's
somehow.
Cool stuff.
The 18-year-old phenom for Spain taking on Mbappe for France today at 2. And again, our tournament scoreboard updates are brought to you by Surfside, made with real vodka and zero bubbles. It's not a seltzer. It's Surfside. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly. That was fun talking to Carl. It was really cool getting him to hear some positive notes on the Royals draft class. Rabe, a little bit of positive outlook on Zion Rose, because I know the immediate Royals fan outlook was, well, MLB Pipeline had him 30th, and Royals picked him 6th overall.
Right, but I mean, in my view, I watching some tape on Zion Rose and reading the articles about him before the injury, like he was widely considered a top 5 pick before the ankle issue. Like he missed half the year. And I think that's why his stock fell. That's why he was dipping in these rankings. It wasn't because of a lack of talent. I mean, the guy hit .417 and had an OPS of over 1,100 at Louisville last year. The guy's a converted catcher who still stole 24 bases last year. You know, he's got the athleticism to potentially play center field, certainly a corner outfield spot. And when you look at a guy like Sean Gamble down in the farm system right now, is hopefully you believe he might be your future left fielder. If Zion Rose is your future in center field, your outfield feels pretty secure with one in left, the other in center, and of course Jack Caglione in right field. Now maybe he drops down to first base depending on how things shake out with Vinny in the future. We don't know. But I personally didn't have that big of an issue with the Zion Rose selection. And I'm sorry, but I'm not hanging my hat on the draft rankings of Major League Baseball more than any other sport on the planet.
Yes.
I mean, this is the same MLB draft rankings that you go back and look at it that had Asa Lacy. He was picked ahead of Jordan Walker. He was ranked ahead of Jordan Walker when we came into these drafts. This is the same MLB pipeline that had Luke Hochevar as like the number 1 player in his draft class. So it's not an end-all, be-all system. More of these prospects don't work out than the ones that do. So if the Royals think there's something there, the guy is an absolute pure hitter. The bat is not a question with Zion Rose. Health is a question for him. The glove is a question. Those are things that you can answer at a later date, in my opinion. The talent, I believe, is there. I was less convinced of Rabe, and I'm way more convinced after hearing what Ravitch had to say.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of it's like if they picked somebody that was higher ranked, we all three know what the sentiment would be. It'd be, well, the Royals are going to ruin him. We'll see how long it takes till he fizzles out.
Yeah, you can't win.
It's like we talked about earlier, Matt Quatraro and the guys not having fun, losing the clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine if they were smiling more and dancing more and they were 21 games under 500? What would the sentiment be, guys? It'd be, oh, well, at least they're having fun. Be nice if they played baseball. Be nice if they cared about baseball. It's like some of these situations, some of these topics, the team was never going to win on. The draft is one of those things. Above slot, below slot, whatever. What matters is, do they develop?
Yeah, and I like the fact that they went with 2 college guys in round 1. It feels like in recent years, the Royals have been far more successful taking guys out of the college ranks than trying to get a young, raw 18-year-old and build him up. I mean, like, Bobby Witt Jr. was a no-doubter. Like, that was an absolute home run of a selection for them. It felt like there was no question that he was going to develop. He's the outlier to this situation. Think about the number of high school guys, the number of high school arms, especially, that the Royals select. Asa Lacy, Frank Mazza. Like, we're still waiting on these guys. Gavin Cross. Like, we're just waiting around for these guys that were more high school than college. It feels like they're a little bit more ready, and I think that's going to work out.
How about all-star Foster Griffin? Remember that name? Was he a college guy or a high school guy? Drafted by the Royals. He's pitching for the Nationals. Wow. I had to double check this. He's 10-2 with a 2.77 ERA, guys.
Man.
I completely forgot about this guy. I was reading the all-star rosters, and I was like, Foster Griffin.
High schooler.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
So turns out he's not ruined. He had the goods. We just never saw it here.
Nope.
How long did that take? I mean, 2014.
Oh, it's been a long time.
I mean,
this is his
30.
first year having success. He's been in Japan for the last 3 years.
Yeah, that's the thing about, God, it's just so tough, man. Yeah, hasn't played. Wow, 2022 was the last time he even saw a Major League Baseball.
So is that pick a miss? Is that what I'm saying? Is that pick a miss, or is it scouting? Is it development? Is it a coaching, a philosophy? Well, right? Because like
I would put it on development.
If Rose has this same trajectory, I would say, well, there was something in Zion Rose that obviously the Royals saw, like Foster Griffin. There's something in there. They just didn't get it out of him. So I just think the draft is a non-story compared to what people make it. I'm tired of hearing the Royals always go under slot. If Rose is a good player, then it's a win.
It's a win. Yeah, exactly right. I will say, with that said, though, they still, because that is the perception, they better hope they are correct. Because that will be the perception. If they are not,
it's very fair.
They've got a huge history. We've got now a bunch of evidence that says, okay, you guys pick these plays for whatever reason, whether it's the management, whether it's the development in the minor leagues, whether it's you just not being able to actually scout and pick a good player. We've got evidence that, hey, the drafts haven't really worked out. So, I mean, in 2 years, if these guys aren't contributing, and hell, as Carl said, we are now in the age of, you get drafted and you're kind of coming up. You're being pulled up, you're being called up, and within that season, maybe in the next season, you are starting to contribute to winning baseball, or at least that's the hope. So that'll be the conversation in a year or two. If these guys, Zion Rose, Taylor Rabe, aren't contributing, well, you picked them way ahead of where they were supposed to, and this is the scouting department, and J.J. Piccolo, and listen, some of that might be justified, but again, there's just so many angles to the draft, and hell, you're talking about a 30-year-old who was drafted 13, 12 years ago, and is now finally making his way in Major League Baseball. So we talked a little bit about it earlier. We can talk about it right now. Does anyone get canned for this season for the Royals? Does anyone should get canned? If so, who should that be? Personally, I don't think that happens. I don't think we see that this year. I think Quatraro just got an extension. We've seen J.J. Piccolo and this whole front office be here for 19 years, and how the whole 19 years, put it all together, how has it gone? Are you giving it anything better than a C for the 2 World Series appearances? I mean, yes, I know those will really carry up the grade, but you've had 990 lost seasons, 300 lost seasons, 3 playoff appearances in J.J. Piccolo's tenure and the rest of this front office's tenure. Nothing tells me that anything drastic is going to change, especially when they've now put capital, put an investment into Matt Quatraro right before this season started.
No, the C grade feels about right. You think about, they went to 2 World Series. Like, shouldn't that give J.J. Picollo a bit of a bump in this situation? Well, if he had been the general manager of those teams, then yeah, maybe. He was the director of player development, so he certainly deserves some kind of credit, but he doesn't get top-end level consideration in terms of the overall grade of this near 2-decade stretch that they've been on. In my opinion, yeah, I think they both have to go. I put more onus on Matt Quattrero and the lack of sustainability, the lack of consistency, the lack of just fight. Like, it doesn't seem like the man has any fight. I said yesterday, sometimes watching Matt Quattrero on the bench during a Royals game makes me question whether or not he's breathing in that, like whether or not the man has a pulse in that moment. He doesn't seem to inspire. He doesn't inspire excitement. He doesn't inspire energy. He doesn't inspire confidence, at least not outwardly, not publicly with his ball club. Makes me feel like he's maybe lost the clubhouse. He's lost the motivation, the respect of his team. And that starts with the situation with Salvador Perez early on this year. And somebody in the text line says, the hitting coach, someone needs to be offered as a sacrifice to the fans. Well, how can you fire Alex Zumwalt at this point and not fire Matt Quattrero, considering Q stuck his neck out to protect Zumwalt's job a season ago and 2 seasons ago, for that matter. So I don't see how you can justify ridding yourself of Zumwalt, which I believe is the right move, without also ridding yourself of Matt Quattrero. And if you're going to rid yourself of Q, then yeah, rid yourself of J.J. Picollo, in my opinion, because he is the last remnants of now in my view, bygone era of both Royals baseball and really of Major League Baseball. We just talked to Carl Ravitch a little bit ago, and one of the things he pointed out, he said it, the Royals don't hit enough home runs. Maybe that's a part of it, because the difficulty of hitting it out of Kauffman, even with the new dimensions, but this team is not built.
Other people don't have an issue. Other teams don't have an issue hitting a Kauffman.
Like, this team is built with no identity. Like, this team is not built like the modern day slugging teams of today in Major League Baseball, but it's also not built like the 2014-15 Royals teams of the bygone 80s and 90s era of Whitey ball, of just get on base, move runners over, steal bases. That's not the way they play either. It just feels like they have no identity. And in my view, that starts with Matt Quattrero. That starts with your manager having to say, the buck stops here. This is who we are. They don't seem to know. And then you have fault on J.J. Picollo in that same frame of mind, because he's the one who brought this guy in. At least that's the opinion that I share.
I mean, firing a hitting coach, it kind of just feels like, oh, here's a little pity fire.
Yeah,
you guys are upset. Like, what is that? An offensive coordinator at best? The Chiefs did that, and at least they had made 7 AFC championships. They had the history to say, hey, listen, we don't need a clean, complete house. We know Andy Reid still can do this, but we've got to make a couple of adjustments. I don't think that's going to be enough for me.
Well, and also, what about Carter and Cags? Like, I feel like there's been more positives the last couple of months in the lineup is concerned than negatives. Like, the lineup's not good enough, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But so we're firing the guy who recently, before the season, we all said, I mean, Vern was the headliner of this. We all said, hey, if one of Carter or Cags is a major league player, this team's going to be in really good shape, and they both are.
They both are. They're both really good.
So, look, I think J.J. Picollo should be the one that if anyone's going to wear the most blame, if anyone should be talking about losing their job, it should be him. However, I think we have to sit here and acknowledge there's clearly something in pitching development that was implemented when it shifted from Dayton Moore to J.J. Picollo, whether it is the transaction-focused identity of his regime, whether it is in some analytic development. Something went into effect that this team was better able to identify starting pitching and develop starting pitching. Is it good enough this year? No, absolutely not. But I think that's going to earn J.J. Picollo a pass. I think ownership will look at J.J. Picollo and say, you can do what you did in 23-24 again. Go identify a Cole Reagans. Go win a trade here. Pick up a savvy veteran there. Mm-hmm. And he's going to be allowed to do it again. So if I had to predict, I would predict Q is given to the fans as that sacrificial lamb, and Picollo is allowed to pick a new manager and do it again. I do think that's going to happen this offseason.
They'll give him a third opportunity. Like, they will let him hire Mike Matheny and fire Matheny and then hire Q and then fire Q.
And then hire somebody else.
I'm with you. I think that's how this offseason is going to go. If I had to wager money somehow on some site that offered odds on this, I would say
Cody Kalshi. There you go.
But I really do feel like they have to do something. I mean, I know that Q's got the contract extension back in March. His money his money's guaranteed through 2029, whether he manages this team or not.
Yeah.
I don't feel like he's managing this team correctly. But I mean, we probably won't have baseball next year because of the lockout or the strike that's impending between with the CBA expiring. But if we did have baseball next year, and Matt Quatraro and JJ Picollo still have a job, do they really think fans are going to show up for that? Like we talked earlier in the show about how bad the attendance has dropped for this Royals team this year. You retain both of those guys and Alex Zumwalt, for example. Like, nobody gets the boot, nobody gets the proverbial axe, and you just expect fans to just show up for this team again in 2027?
No.
Not going to happen.
It'd be paper bag season
big
over
time.
your head.
Big
if
time.
that were to happen.
Yeah, you think the fire Q chants are bad. It's going to be much, much worse if that's the case. And they have to know that, right? But at the same time, are they going to be able to actually eat it, admit they're wrong, and take the L? Also, off topic, but still on topic question here. Do other Major League Baseball organizations or other teams in sports, for that matter, fire a general manager and keep the rest of the front office that he put on there? Because that's what happened. You get rid of Dayton Moore, but JJ Picollo and the rest of those guys, VP personnel, all those guys stayed on. I'm asking, has that happened? Do you know other teams that have done that? I'm legitimately asking. It seems crazy to me.
Nothing's coming to mind. I mean, text line 913-586-7965. If that's happened, especially in recent years, please let us know.
Yeah. It seems strange to me because that's the case. You've had 19 years of these same guys. You got rid of Dayton Moore, however long it was ago now.
Right.
But you've got all those same guys that he brought in.
Right. And maybe it's a situation where, like, if it was the firing of a general manager who didn't also have the president title, maybe that's a factor in this.
That's a good point.
You're also looking at the fact that Picollo was an internal hire. You know, he was leveled up to take over for Dayton Moore, and therefore he had already worked with these guys for so many years because he showed up at around the same time. I don't know. But, yeah, a situation where, like, with Picollo, if you fire him, it feels like everybody's got to go because not only is he the general manager, he also has that president title next to it. So he does, technically speaking, oversee everybody involved in the front office versus if he was just the general manager, it would more along the lines of be like a player personnel situation.
Yeah, and that's a good point. There's good differentiation there. I just think as a guy like JJ Picollo, your job is sometimes to It's impossible, right, to know the unknown. But here we actually knew some of this stuff. We knew Carlos Estevez was injured. We knew that a lot of the pitching staff was getting older and that you could have sold high on these guys. Time and time again, there were times to sell and they didn't do it. The last time they were transactional, which is what JJ Picollo's words, not mine. He wants to be more transactional. The last time they were was 2023. What happened in 2024? It's the best Royals season that we saw since, I don't know, you name it, 2016, 2015, whatever it may be. Some Royals talk. We'll get back to the other side, talk some Chiefs, talk some Jacob Bizarowski because it's the All-Star game tonight, and, dude, his glove is sick. I'll tell you about it on the other side. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
This is Fescoe and Dusty.
Brett Veach has the most underrated chest I've ever seen.
On your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Fescoe and Dusty is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
At Farmers, our honesty is contagious.
Wait, am I going to catch honesty?
Well, when you're with Farmers, it's kind of inevitable.
Well, how long does it take to... I lied to you when you asked if I knew what a deductible was. I don't know my dad's birthday, and I thought umbrella policies were for rainstorms. Actual rainstorms. I have it, don't I?
You don't just have honesty.
You have Farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or affiliate. Products not available in every state.
Kansas City is buzzing this summer, and the excitement keeps rolling into August at the Advent Health Championship, Kansas City's only professional golf tournament, August 20th through 23rd at Blue Hills Country Club. Watch the next generation of PGA Tour stars compete for their shot at the big stage. Follow your favorite player, enjoy the action from greenside, or upgrade to an all-inclusive hospitality experience. experience. With tickets starting at just $10, there's something for everyone. Keep your summer going. Get your tickets today at AdventHealthChampionship.com.
Baseball season is in full swing, and that means the summer heat is coming. The guys at Climate Control have been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years, and they know how to get your cooling system ready to handle our scorching hot summer weather. Stay cool and comfortable this summer. Call Climate Control today at 816-265-2830. 816-265-2830 for all your cooling, heating, and plumbing needs. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
The Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 are growing their team, seeking quality men and women who want to build Kansas City's new legacy. Get exceptional career opportunities, world-class training, and unmatched benefits while laying groundwork for a stable, rewarding future in the sheet metal industry. Whether you have experience or are just starting out, they're 100% committed to developing the best-trained, most highly skilled workforce in our region. Be part of building the future of Kansas City. Get started today at sheetmetal2.org.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Yo, it's Jay Uso from WWE, and I'm Jimmy Uso. Chumba Casino and WWE are hyped for the biggest event of the summer, SummerSlam. I know, I can't wait. There's nothing better to do while we're waiting than playing Chumba Casino. Sign up today, and you could win a VIP experience with Chumba Casino and WWE for SummerSlam. So what are you waiting for? Play Chumba Casino and enter for your chance to win. Let's Chumba. Yeah.
Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
Here's a World Soccer Championship preview.
Brought to you by Lowe's. Members get more at Lowe's. And by the first ever Infiniti QX65. Spain and France meet in Dallas in a blockbuster semifinal that is more than worthy of being the actual final. France has faced very little adversity in the tournament, racking up 16 goals in their first 6 matches. Now they have to face Spain, who's allowed only 1 goal in their first 6 matches. I'm Mike Conti.
Coming to a close here on a Tuesday morning. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. We got Cody, Drew, and Bigster. Coming up next, 10 to 2. They are very excited. I don't think either of them liked the home run derby last night. I know Cody had a tweet last night about the coverage itself on Netflix and the angles and all of that stuff, the interviews. And I know Bink came in and gave me and Logan a rant, and then subsequently Nathan got the rest of that rant while we were on the air coming back from a break. So they will start off hot. Personally, I think we all liked it and enjoyed it for the most part. Yes, there are things that Netflix could do better. It was their first time. Yes, things happen. This comes from Buster Olney at ESPN. Over the last 5 years, the home run derby average with the clock was 275 homers. Last night, over about the same amount of time, 131. So 144 less homers on compared to the average of the last 5 years home run derby average. To that, I'll say quality over quantity.
Mm-hmm.
Quality over quantity. I don't need more does not equal better.
At least I got to watch every home run leave the ballpark.
I saw all of them.
Yeah, 275 home runs in the Derby. Did you get to see half of them?
Exactly.
Because of how quickly these guys were having to swing and then immediately get back into their stance for the next swing because you're trying to get as many hacks as you can in 2 minutes. We actually got to, in my opinion, enjoy the spectacle a little bit. Like, I understood the appeal of trying to speed up the home run derby, make it more fast-paced, because that's been a complaint in Major League Baseball. It felt like a dramatic overcorrection. I personally never had an issue with the 10 outs format. You got to experience the pageantry, the magic of hitting a home run. Guy hits a home run in a game, everybody in the stands, and himself included, get to admonish and admire the work that he just put in. You should be able to do that in a home run derby as well. It doesn't have to be this fast break race to see how many you can hit in a time frame. That just doesn't feel like baseball to me. This feels a little bit closer to the mark with what the new format was last night.
Yeah, we had already done it with baseball, the game itself. We had quickened up the game, sped it up, which was fantastic. It's led to more viewership. It's led to a rise in popularity amongst the youth. But you don't need to do that with the home run derby. We can just watch guys hit bombs and hit nukes and enjoy it. And I thought last night was really fun. Caglione, 477 feet. So if you guessed Jackson, you guessed it correctly, lucky you. You'll win 2 4-packs of tickets to any Royals games of your choice that are mutually agreed upon date. And tonight, the All-Star game takes place over. Will that be on Netflix as well then? The All-Star game? Is that on ESPN? What's that going to be on?
I think it's still on Fox.
Is it still going to be on Fox?
I think so.
Okay. So they just put the home run derby. Okay, gotcha. So Jacob Mizorowski, he's not going to be taking the mound tonight. He will not be pitching. But his glove is still really sick. I just retweeted it it's Yahoo Sports tweeted about it. But Jacob Mizorowski has a Charizard card in his glove. It's got his number and it's got his last name in Pokemon font on the outer brim. And then once you get into the big part of where the glove is, it's got a card inside of it that is a special Charizard card. That's badass.
Yeah, it's just like embedded in the outside of the webbing of his glove.
Yes.
Yeah, this just continues to like give you a little bit of like who Jacob Mizorowski is. Like my wife and I live in Grain Valley, so I've got to learn a lot about him over the last year. I mean, near year and a half or so. And this is sort of like who he is. Like he was just sort of like very quiet, shy, bit of a nerd, which I can appreciate as a nerd myself. I've been accused of being a nerd so many times for the last week or so because I want to talk about video games sometimes. Like, excuse me. But
that was one of our best conversations of the day today.
Yeah,
I had a great time.
I love when guys are able to showcase a little bit of what their personality is.
Yeah.
And I feel like it diminishes sports when they don't allow that. Like when the NFL used to fine guys for having brash cleat, when they used to have these sort of like showcasing their personality via their cleats or, your towel was pink. That's a fine because it's not approved by the net. Like, dude, can you just let these people be people every once in a while?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I mean, I love the fact that these guys get to show you a little bit of who they are that isn't just, hey, I throw a baseball really, really hard. Like, now we know Jacob Mizorowski enjoys a little Pokemon.
Heck yeah.
And I think that's fun to know. I like that a little bit.
A little bit of a geek. That's fine. No worries with that. Was never the biggest Pokemon guy, but awesome, good for you. Both my brothers are. My sister is. I didn't get the gene. Did not get the Pokemon gene.
I was more of a Yu-Gi-Oh kid.
Oh, okay.
I'll be honest. I had the deck.
Oh, wow.
If anybody remembers the big Yu-Gi-Oh deck that you would,
my God.
You would strap it to your arm and it would come out across
Lord.
you. You just have a deck of Yu-Gi-Oh cards out in front of you. Yeah, I was into it.
Geek City.
I was into it for a little while, for about 6 months, and then I discovered baseball cards, and
there we go.
It quickly went away. And I got so deep into baseball cards that a buddy and I used to ask to go to the restroom. This is in first grade, by the way. We would ask to go to the restroom. We'd go. And we would trade baseball cards.
That's fun.
Until one day we lost track of time and I didn't realize that we'd been in there for 45 minutes. So our teacher sent another kid in to get us out of the bathroom. We came back. The guy ratted us and said that we were trading baseball cards.
Oh, come on.
My teacher took all of our baseball cards.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't give them back?
Never got them back. Which included a Frank Thomas signature Chicago White Sox card. This was 2004 or whatever it was, but yeah, never got that card back.
Not cool.
Good for teacher. I mean, they're not paid enough.
No, they're not.
I mean,
one of those things that
come on the side.
Becoming an educator now at this point in my life, I really do. She's probably my first call, but there are so many teachers I want to call now and be like, I'm so sorry. You did not get paid enough for what you had to deal with. You had to send a first grader into the bathroom to drag my 6-year-old ass out of there because I was trading Frank Thomas and Lance Berkman baseball cards instead of, I don't know, being a normal 6-year-old.
Yeah. That's crazy. I love that the teacher was just like, Frank Thomas, okay, solid card. All right, yeah, sorry, guys. You got to learn your lesson here.
She had a son who was a few years older than me in school and was big into sports too, so something tells me that those cards inevitably ended up inside her child's pocket at one point, and they didn't stay in her desk very long.
Of course, and I'm sure the cash from the cards did as well. That's just crazy. Derby would be better if there was one guy to pitch to each batter. Love that. Love that.
Just have one guy, just one designated pitcher for everybody.
He's the guy. He's the guy who's pitching.
I wouldn't want to be that guy, honestly. For the next morning, I wouldn't. Dude's out. I mean, he's got to be throwing. That's a lot of BP you're tossing, man. I mean, that's a lot.
No, it's a lot.
I always wonder how it would be different if there were people trying to get the batters out during the Derby, and I'm not joking about Cag's dad painting the corners because he was, but if they had independent baseball players or someone that the extra throwing wouldn't hurt their season, trying to get guys out, what that would look like.
Yeah, that would be interesting too. I'm trying to think now, what would my glove be embedded with is what my mind has now come to. What would my glove be embedded with if I was an all-star?
Yeah.
Would yours be a Yu-Gi-Oh card?
No, probably not a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Somebody in the text line thinks that Drew's glove would be embedded with Blue Chews.
Yes. That's fantastic. You can take the rest of the week. That is fantastic. I love that so much. Love today, guys. Great job, Nathan. Great job, Logan. Logan and I will be back at it tomorrow with JT, and then Nathan will be back with us on Thursday. But you can hear Nathan tonight on After Hours, 7 p.m., baby.
Let's go.
Hosting. Let's go. Very, very excited about that. We will be tuning into that. Thank you for staying locked into 96.5 The Fan. We'll be back tomorrow. Stay locked in because it's Cody, it's Bink, it's Drew. Coming up next on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Listening to Fescoe and Dusty, brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. Dane Hughes here, and for everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circus Sports app. Then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circus Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
You don't have to carry everything on your own. Whether you're dealing with stress, anxiety, depression, substance use, or thoughts of suicide, talking to someone can help, and help is available 24/7